Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was Son of Captain America and Black Widow movie. Before we start, please go support Nicuchio for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Deku is a male. Hello, I am Izuku Rogers Romanof, son of Captain America, Steve Rogers and Black Widow, Natasha Romanof, formerly known as Izuku Yagi Midoriya, son of Toshinori Yagi, alias Almight and Inko Midoriya. I was the product of a selfish desire of my biological father to make me the descendant that would ensure the number one position in the top to the Yagi lineage, son of a mother interned in a psychiatric hospital due to the old man's torture, and helped by the captain when he saw how my father mistreats me, best friend of the number one Muslim in Japan and T'Challa's successor, alias Black Panther. Shoto of Wakanda, formerly known as Shoto Todoroki, a case similar to mine where our elders saw us as weapons and tools. Chapter 1, A New Hope. In a world where 80% of the population are born with a peculiarity called quirk and the remaining 20% unfortunately do not, where they are marginalized until they break them mentally that force them to commit suicide or go with the number one villain of the place, a little green-haired boy with freckles was born, the product of an arrangement between the Yagi and Midoriya families, where the young Inko has been forced to marry Toshinori Yagi, current number one hero under the alias of Almight. Symbol of peace, the family believed that this would bring them fame, undoubtedly made the young Inko marry Yagi, from which a little green-haired boy was born, with the greatest innocence of all since he never expected what fate had in store for him, because Toshinori, eager for his blood to remain in the top one of heroes in Japan, wished to turn his son into the weapon that would ensure that goal. Izuku, since he learned to walk, was subjected to rigorous training in order to mold the body of an evolution of Toshinori's quirk, the quirk known as One for All, at least to those close to him, Gran Torino, a retired hero who from the moment Izuku spoke, became his grandfather, making the old man protect him without hesitation from the excessive training that his father put him, while on the other side was Sir Night-Eye, his father's best friend, and faithful follower and henchman of Yagi's plan. So without hesitation he put the boy under the same tests, not physically but intelligently. His only way out was his mother with his best friend Mitsuki Bakugo, an aunt to him, along with his best and only friend in fact, Katsuki Bakugo, who since he saw All Might's true face, did nothing but hate him, because the press never knew what the number one hero did in a civil way. This situation worsened when the little boy turned 4, when it was discovered that his quirk was an evolution of One for All itself. But unfortunately for the little boy, due to his physical condition, he would not awaken, where Toshinori wanted to increase the load. But seeing that Inko defended him and prevented him, he decided to put her in a psychiatric hospital so that she would not bother him, fracturing her mind to the point of madness. From that day on, Bakugo hated his former idol, since he never let him see his best friend again. Few people knew what the number one hero, director Nizuku, the hero Eraserhead, and the heroine Dragon Ryukyu, looked like. They would always be at the boy's house whenever they could in his father's absence, encouraging him to survive. The only thing Niza could do was warn All Might's first disciple, Star and Stripe, of the situation, who without hesitation agreed to protect the boy. Thus, a trip was organized that would unite two heroes from Japan and the United States for a week where they would talk, sign autographs, and give lectures. Upon arriving at the New York airport, the Yagi family was greeted by the heroine herself, who immediately bonded with Izuku, where he was with her secretly from his father. Star doubted what Nizu told her, but upon seeing for herself the marks of bruises on the little boy's body, who was not even 5 years old, made that respect towards the man who was once her mentor and idol be lost forever. It wasn't until after a conference that Star signaled some cameramen to follow her, while at her side was always the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, Natasha Romanof, friend of the heroine and wife of Captain America, heroes who since the evil ones arose in the world have fought. Even the heroes of Japan respected the captain, except Endeavor and All Might, because for them he was someone unimportant. A Quirkless from the age of the dinosaurs, because he came from the pre-Quirk era, from a failed project, in their words, with the super soldier serum, despite the fact that in every existing history book he was considered the first hero to exist. As we left the auditorium, The screams of a crying child and more than one adult harshly scolding and hitting him could be heard. The press secretly filmed and recorded everything, some broadcasting it live. Izuku, Dad please, I can't take it anymore, stop. All Might, you will continue until I say so, you are weak, and no member of the Yagi family is, keep going. Izuku, please sniff, stop sniffing, you're hurting me. All Might in front of everyone, unaware of the cameras and microphones, under the serious gaze of Cap and the agent, plus the look of sadness and disbelief of Star and Stripe, plus the press without making a noise, they saw it. All Might had beaten Izuku all over his body without showing mercy. All Might, your duty is to keep the Yagi lineage at the top, number 1. For that you must stop being a child, mature from now on. You are only a weapon, a tool. Star and Stripe along with Cap. At that moment they could not stand it anymore and launched themselves against All Might, where the heroine used her new order quirk, separating the child from the hero. Star, stop it! What the hell are you doing, All Might? All Might, don't interfere, Star. I am the symbol of peace, and the legacy will be occupied by my blood, and no symbol is weak, and it is my son who will occupy it. Izuku, please stop sniff. The tears were many. He couldn't take it anymore. All Might, you shut up. Natasha, come here, little one, opening her arms in a maternal manner. Star, you haven't noticed. Everything has been filmed and broadcast. All Might, go, the child stays safe from you, she said, very annoyed. All Might, I'm going to get it back, Star. I have political influence. A man with dark skin, bald, and an eye patch quickly entered. It was Nick Fury, who, given what had happened from the helicarrier in the air in that area, decided to intervene. Fury, I see that you no longer have any power here. All Might, people have seen it, and by this document showing a paper signed with a presidential seal dash, at the American level, in the name of the North American Hero Commission, I revoke your license in this country. In addition to that, thanks to a friend from Japan, the Children's Department, despite the internal help of your partner Sir Night-Eye, you are stripped of custody of little Izuku Yagi. All Might, I will take revenge, you know, you've been warned. I will take revenge, Star, and if I have to face the Avengers, I will do it withdrawing annoyed. In Japan, while that was happening, Nisa from the UA in the company of the Hero Commission, Gran Torino, Eraserhead and the Child Safety Department signed the restriction of approaching Izuku for All Might, in addition to taking custody of him and making sure that Inko does not suffer anything. They knew that Sir Night-Eye, known for bribing and making his word and influencing the law, would get involved, but nevertheless it would leave those present in a bad position. Back in the United States, All Might had retreated furious at what had happened, while Steve picked up Izuku, who began to cling to him as if he didn't want to be with anyone else, while crying, Star, yeah, Izuku-chan, you're safe now. Izuku, gee thanks. Steve, hey kiddo, do you want to come live with me and Miss Romanof? Izuku, I don't want to be a bother. Natasha, not at all. Besides, we can keep you protected from them, and if you want, be your family, take care of you and give you that love you lack. Izuku, really? Steve, sure. Izuku, Dad, Mom, hugging both of them. That was the beginning of a new family and the change of Izuku, who from now on became a Rogers Romanof. Author's note: imagine she's Black Widow, back in Japan. After what happened and what was published about All Might, the population became disgusted with that famous symbol of peace, which generated an increase in villainy, which until then was 30%, rising to 45%, where the true heroes had to try harder, while the others only did it if the cameras were there, which made the population start to distrust the heroes. All Might's fans were not long in coming, arguing that it was false, a setup to discredit the number one hero and symbol of peace, that the heroine Star and Stripe only wanted to overshadow that image that number one occupied, of Steve. They only said that she wanted to regain the fame she had in the past. Sir pulled as many strings as he could, managing to get those tapes removed from the press by the government, getting them to label as dangerous material, and doing everything he could to get the boy back into All Might's arms. Plus he started working with the Yakuza on an anti-Quirk bullet program, hoping the perfect guinea pig would arrive that would eliminate all resistance to his decisions wherever they are. With what happened to Izuku, Sir couldn't do anything, so he stopped using his influence and tried to maintain All Might's image. The Bakugo could only sigh in relief that little Izuku was separated from that monster, while Katsuki made it his mission to surpass All Might, take away his number one spot and make him pay for what happened to his best friend, Even thanks to Gran Torino, they managed to establish contact with the Rogers, who, thanks to Izuku, who always wrote, where he promised that he would enter UA with him, and they would have their battle to determine who is the strongest. A month after what happened, the Japanese government received King T'Challa of Wakanda, who, upon his arrival, requested All Might, Endeavor, Beast Genist, Gang Orca and Hawks to escort him. The king knew who the two blondes and Flammadas were. He only hoped not to have to talk to the blonde for the threat he dictated to his group, the Avengers. In this meeting, All Might arrogantly and unanimously demanded, being supported by Endeavor, the delivery of large quantities of vibranium to improve the suits of the heroes of Japan, which T'Challa flatly denied, upsetting both heroes, where in an act of fury Endeavor went out meeting his wife Rei and his youngest son Shoto, who, regardless of the fact that an Avenger would be there, began to hit them with his active quirk, leaving Shoto his characteristic mark on the eye, and trying to mentally break Rei, since soon she would not take it anymore. Seeing this, T'Challa intervened, striking Endeavor and protecting Rei with his personal guards. T'Challa, what do you think you're doing? Beating up a defenseless woman and a simple child? He really is a hero. All Might, of course he is. He has a license, so he's a hero. Prime Minister, enough. With this you know that both of you will end up without your licenses. All Might, he won't dare. Annoyed. Prime Minister, of course I can do it. Sir Night Eye, I don't think you want justice to remove you, do you? Threatening. T'Challa, from what I see here there are 3 beings who do not know the meaning or value of that word. Miss Rei, if you wish you can come to Wakanda and be protected there from your beater. Shoto whispered thanks so T'Challa could hear him. Endeavor was more than pissed off. Prime Minister, of course you can take it. Shoto, and my brothers, he said with great fear. T'Challa, General, I want you to escort Miss Rei and little Shoto to their home, so that they and their brothers can leave with us to Wakanda. General, yes my king. Endeavor, take the failures, but I won't let you have Shoto's weapon. T'Challa, so just like your goal, you'll use your son as a weapon. I'm glad the boy is now away from the blonde on steroids. Sir, damn annoyed because several countries including Wakanda intervened in favor of the minor. Prime Minister, we will be in touch. King T'Challa. T'Challa, absolutely, Prime Minister. Thus began a new hope for Shoto and the Todorokis, where in the future, their mother would fall in love with the Wakandan king, and he with her, beginning the relationship of little Shoto as son and heir to his future father's Black Panther. End of chapter. I hope you like this story, as it came to me recently. The ships aren't defined, although there are some ideas. They won't be harems, much less MILFs. I hope that's clear. The team that will succeed the Avengers has already been selected, at least on the American side. On the Japanese side, only 3 have been chosen, so feel free to suggest members. Without further ado, I say goodbye. Goodbye. Chapter 2, The New Life. After what happened in the United States with All Might and the events in Japan with Endeavor, 1 month has passed, society began to fragment. Many were in favor of All Might and Endeavor, without knowing the monster they were, since their fanaticism prevented them from believing that they were despicable beings as fathers and husbands. The villains began to be more present in society, making the heroes unable to contain the situation much as they had done before, so the community of heroes itself was fragmented. Those who wanted to keep the citizens safe, a group that the UA headed as the main reference, and a group obsessed with fame, led by All Might and Endeavor, who had their dark plots to obtain power and new benefits. The mafias took sides here, but they were all annihilated by the Yakuza, with the support of All Might, where Kai Chisaki himself managed to plunge the powerful mafias, while those gangs and minor mafias became empowered and dependent. The situation was delicate, but little by little the true heroes managed to keep things under control and reduce the villainy by at least 5%. On Island, the Shields decided to cut ties with All Might, which meant the loss of supplies for All Might's suit, along with the withdrawal of the visa for the island, which made Sir remove several Japanese investors from said island. While this was happening in Japan, in the United States, Izuku got up from his new room, where in the 30 days since he was freed from his torment, he began to be treated by his new parents, who gave him the love he needed, the affection he was missing, along with repairing his broken bones that remained from his training with All Might, which the blonde never had treated. along with being able to revive that childhood that was slowly being taken away from him. His fanaticism for his new father was not long in coming, because before in his home he was forced to have his father's merchandise, something that at one time he liked, but it disappeared with the deals. It was morning, and Izuku was getting up with difficulty, thanks to the advances made by Stark Industries and Dr. Banner, who, with a prototype of accelerated healing, which they used during one of their many medical visits, had helped the boy, managing to make him able to walk, at least with some pain in his small body. While he was dressing, the captain entered the room. "Steve, good morning, champion." "Izuku, good morning, Dad," smiling like he only does. "Steve, how are you feeling?" "Izuku, my ribs hurt a little, but the rest is fine." "Steve, I'm glad to hear that. I want you to get dressed. We'll have visitors, there's some friends." "Izuku, are you from the Avengers?" Excited. "Steve, you'll know when you see them." "Izuku, oh," with an adorable pout for his mother. After that brief conversation, Steve left the room, while Izuku dressed in the clothes Natasha had bought him. Meanwhile, downstairs, a group of friends of the Rogers Romanof family. So, Izuku left his room to see several people. "Izuku, good morning, Mommy." "Natasha, good morning, Izuku." Those who were there looked at him smiling. They knew that both wanted a child and could never have one. And there he was not their blood, but he was their son. "Steve, son, I think it's time for you to introduce yourself." "Izuku, yes, Dad. Hello, I'm Izuku Rogers Romanof. It's a pleasure." "Archer, wow, Nat, in 1 month he's a real gentleman. Maybe you want me to show him how to get his first girlfriend." "Natasha, Clint, sorry, I'm Clint Barton, known as Hawkeye." "Izuku, you are the Avengers Archer with stars in your eyes." "Millionaire, it seems that Legolas likes you. It's my turn, I'm Tony." "Izuku, you are Iron Man. You are the hero without superpowers that many in Japan say you are either admirable or reprehensible." "Tony, wow, those guys treat me like that, and well, it's obvious they don't have my millions." "Steve, don't start with your jokes, Tony." "Man, it's my turn. I'm Dr. Bruce Banner, but you probably know me as the other guy." "Izuku," Mr. Hulk tilting his head. "Natasha, hold on. He's adorable, but he's your baby. Don't squeeze his cheeks," she thought. "Rubio, it's my turn since I'm the last one." Izuku excited. "It's Thor, the Asgardian thunder hero." "Thor, wow, you recognize me, boy, ha ha ha." "Steve, you've almost met the Avengers, son. How do you feel?" "Izuku, I feel excited. My dad is one of the coolest Avengers along with Mr. Tony and Mr. Thor, but Mr. Hulk is not there to lead the coolest ones." Adults laugh at the admiration of a 5-year-old. "Steve, well, Bruce, what did you find?" "Bruce, I found that thing they call a quirk in him, based on the history that the director of the UA sent me along with Gran Torino." Izuku inherited a quirk called One for All, a quirk that is passed down from generation to generation like a torch. And not only that, but the boy evolved. This is generating according to what the UA warned, that Almight is weakening. According to Gran Torino and the relationship he had with Nana Shimura, 7th bearer of such power, the OFA chooses the owner. And seeing that the 8th bearer is becoming corrupted, he saw the need for transmission through procreation. "Steve, he's already been through brutal training. I won't put him through it without letting him be a kid." "Bruce, there is even a possibility that it could be useful to you. A few days ago, with Dr. Betty Ross, we discovered the possibility of changing DNA genomes. The problem is that it only works with the genes of the male parent." "Steve, so you are, Bruce, offering to transmit your genetic code to the boy with a blood sample of yours, through a process similar to what you went through with the super soldier experiment. This includes injections, as happened to you." "Izuku, so I can get rid of the old man's blood," he said hopefully. "Natasha, you can come, Steve." "Steve, sure." Both of them leave with Bruce, while Thor begins to tell his Asgardian stories to the green-haired man who looks at him with stars in his eyes. "Natasha, I have doubts about this procedure." "Bruce, I understand. We can even use vision to see if we can enter the core of One for All, since according to Gran Torino, they can store the memories of previous carriers." "Steve, let's do it." "Natasha, I'm not sure, Steve, and if it hurts him more, he's already suffered enough. I don't want him to suffer anymore." "Steve, I don't want him to suffer either. He actually does. You know the nightmares he has. Even when he's far away from that guy, it torments him." "Natasha, in that case, let's do it." "Bruce, I'll tell Tony to call Vision. After that, the Avengers retreated, leaving the family in a moment of family talk. Steve, Izuku, your mother and I want to talk about something. Izuku, what is it? Natasha, you see, Bruce, he told us that there is a way to eliminate your nightmares and your past related to Almight. Izuku, oh, really starting to cry. Steve, yes, son, it's a procedure that can remove your blood and replace it with mine. Izuku, yes, I want, please, yes, I want. Both parents would hug the little one. Steve, I'll tell Bruce. A week would pass in which Izuku was prepared to perform the procedure, in which he boarded a helicopter with Tony. They headed to New York, where through the window Izuku could see something. Izuku, Dad, is that it? Steve, sure. Izuku, Avengers Tower. Upon landing in the building's hangar, they were greeted by Bruce and Vision, who escorted them to a room where the procedure would be performed. Izuku lay down on the stretcher while Cap, thanks to Bruce, poured some of his blood into one of the containers for the procedure. Tony and some nurses administered anesthesia to the boy while Natasha held Izuku's hand, leaving the green-haired boy fast asleep. Vision, well, it's time to enter. Steve, do it. Vision with the Mind Stone would manage to enter with the Avengers present to a strange-looking room, where a rather robust black-haired woman received them. Woman, go until they arrive, Steve, you must be Nana Shimura, 7th wielder of One for All. Nana, sure, it's a pleasure to meet you, Cap, and the rest of the Avengers. Natasha, I see you were waiting for us. Nana, that's right, it's to tell them about the entire OFA. It's the best thing since with Toshinori, she said with disgust, disappointment, and fury it would be in the wrong hands. Besides, I manipulated the transmission of the OFA from the moment of Izuku's conception. His evolution was the boy's work. I knew from the core of the OFA the corruption that All Might was having, so I decided to leave him without him. Only with the embers. Steve, I see. Nana, unlike the original version, which was supposed to be activated, this wouldn't happen now. It would always be active, like you have it thanks to your super soldier serum. Steve, I see. Nana, thank you for taking the boy into your care. He will be one of the best heroes. Vision, it's time to go back for the procedure. Steve, we'll be in touch, Miss Nana. Everyone would leave that space. Bruce, well? Steve, proceed. Bruce activated the machine while the others watched, and Cap was familiar with what he saw when he met Abraham Erskine undergoing a similar procedure. Due to the lightning and the pain caused by the changes in his body after the blood injection, Izuku woke up screaming. Izuku, ARG. Natasha, stop him. Steve, stop it now. Izuku, no, stop, Dad. Mom, I can do it. Bruce, you decide, looking at the parents. Steve, go on. If he's sure, we won't stop him. Thus they continued to observe the boy's change, where thanks to the tower's energy self-sufficiency, a blackout did not occur in the city, leaving the chamber with some light and some steam. Steve, Bruce, open it. Bruce did as requested, where the machine opened, revealing a new Izuku. He was somewhat taller than before, a little more toned, not exaggerated for being a 5-year-old boy. His facial features resembled Steve's, his freckles had disappeared, his hair remained green, but lightened a few tones, his eyes were blue. Author's note used the reference image. Izuku, I did it, he said in pain, with some tears in his eyes, but with a smile. Steve went out to grab him before he left, along with Natasha. Steve, and how does it feel? Izuku, I feel bigger and more like you. Steve, that's my boy. Natasha, I hope you don't have the same luck as your father with women. Izuku, no, Mom. Bruce, I would need a blood sample, please. Izuku would stretch out his arm as Bruce took blood for testing. Thor, and how are you feeling, boy? Izuku, how could he lift Mjolnir? Thor, ha 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 ha, I like you. Bruce, it can't be, it's unbelievable. Steve, what happened while everyone is attending to him? Bruce, the boy assimilated not only your blood, but the super soldier serum itself in it. You could say that he is like you, added to what is called a quirk. That was the beginning, where Izuku asked to be trained in everything he could, starting to train in various fields, stealth, hand-to-hand combat, and use of various weapons with Natasha. With Clint, use of the bow. Steve helped with his physique and military-style hand-to-hand combat, all while remaining a child, attending school, making friends, writing to his grandfather and best friend, including his progress. So 7 years passed, where at 12 he enlisted in S.H.I.E.L.D. at Natasha's suggestion, something that Fury took well, notifying of an initiative, a seedbed for future generations of Avengers, the Secret Warriors program. in Wakanda. At the same time that the United States was taking place, T'Challa arrived in Wakanda with the Todoroki, ex-Todorokis, who were very grateful for the Wakandan king to receive them in his home to protect them. The beginnings were somewhat difficult, since several Wakandans did not accept foreigners in their lands, but that went away after 3 months of his arrival, where Ray began a relationship with T'Challa. A product of all the help he received, both psychological and emotional, which ended up bringing them both closer. The king found his queen, and Ray found a man who loved her as she is. The Todoroki brothers, the reactions were diverse. Although they accepted the relationship, it was difficult for them to deal with another name, at least for the elders, with the exception of Tuya who, along with Shoto, called T'Challa father or dad. The Wakandans seeing this, although they did not agree 100%, with the coming months they accepted them as one of their own. Tuya, thanks to the treatments of Wakanda, was able to use his quirk without repercussions for his body, so together with T'Challa, they defended Wakanda from villains and assault groups that wanted vibranium. Tuya, despite being 12 years old, began to train with T'Challa to use his power and fight hand-to-hand, and at 15 years old, thanks to the talks between T'Challa and Nick Fury, he was admitted as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. With Shoto it was different. Since he found out about T'Challa's relationship with his mother, he wasted no time in calling the king dad, generating a very good bond between them, which 1 year later, and with the acceptance of the Wakandan Council, he ended up accepting to pass on the spirit of the Black Panther to him, where with the training and the use of both sides of his quirk, thanks to T'Challa. Since he denied that it was the old man's power, but his own, he helped him accept his fire. He met the Avengers and Izuku, with whom he got along as a friend, to the point of considering himself a brother from another mother, and at 12, after all the exhaustive training he had, he entered the same program as Izuku, Secret Warriors, in addition to being S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. As a child, Shoto always wanted to go to the UA, but fulfilling his duty to his people in Wakanda made him give up on going. Both future Avengers knew they would soon have to go to UA, but as something more than recommended students, but as double agents. While with the assent of both, Tuya was preparing for a similar mission, but infiltrating the League of Villains, under the name of Dabi. Both groups would be being watched by Stain, who began to hunt heroes who followed the ideals of Almight, saying his same phrase: "False heroes must be purged." Obviously investigating those he killed, his contacts without anyone knowing, the UA, the Hero Ingenium Tensei Lita, and Fat Gum. New adventures awaited them, as they sought to form their own team before receiving the inheritance from their ancestors. Chapter 3: Missions and Return to Japan. The UA. It's been 7 years since Izuku was adopted and became the biological son of Cap. In those years, Izuku wanted to train in everything he could in order to become strong and be able to help those who need it, like the symbol that is his father, even if it is possible from the shadows like his mother. In that time Izuku trained his physique, leaving the boy with 12 years old, marked, somewhat inflated. Without being exaggerated like a bodybuilder, he trained the use of various styles of hand-to-hand fighting, thanks to Natasha and Steve, in addition to the use of stabbing weapons, firearms, the bow courtesy of Clint, and the use of the shield like the cap, since Tony designed a system that recreates the shield, not in metal, but in a high-density holographic material capable of doing damage. Author's note: for those who saw Next Avengers, they will understand that it is like James' initial glove. This made him excited because he looked more like his father in something. With the Avengers he creates bonds as if they were his uncles. In the case of Thor, the god of thunder was surprised that he managed to lift his hammer when it happened, making it clear that he was worthy, so he became the cool uncle who seeks to take his nephew to the party and other pleasurable evils. With Tony and Dr. Banner, he had an uncle-nephew relationship, because Izuku was just as intelligent as they were at his age and a little more, managing to create his own Hulk Buster, with Hulk good and simple words taught him the art of crushing. Doctor Strange and Vision through the mirror dimension with his current parents, took him to see Inko, who unfortunately for her, was at a point of madness with no chance of returning. Her hands were tied. Even Vision with his power could only convey to Izuku that she was no longer saved, that she should be happy wherever she is now. The green-haired man could only cry, being comforted by his current parents. At age 10, his parents gave him great news. He was going to be a big brother. 9 months later, James Rogers Romanof was born. He was a little redhead who would become a huge fan of his older brother. He met his father's apprentice, an African American named Jeffrey Solomon, alias Patriot. The boy was like his older brother, someone who always stopped him and Shoto when they got together, ending in a 2-on-1 fight that the hero won. Although he didn't come out unharmed, he ended up at least with a broken arm, leaving him out for 2 weeks, thanks to Stark's healing systems, a system similar to Recovery Girl's Quirk. Needless to say, Gran Torino and the Bakugo brothers were happy every time he texted or video chatted, especially Bakugo, who was raising the bar on being the strongest in UA, something that worried Steve and Natasha because of the cheap blonde Mr. Muscle with a bit of a gel addiction and puncture problems. In Shoto's case, since his mother and his new father started dating, he began training with Chala, hand-to-hand combat, and use of quirks. At first he refused to use the fire side, but both Tuya and Chala told him, "Do not be a prisoner of your blood." That made Shoto work hard and kill himself training in 2 fields. Even the general, leader of the Royal Guard, taught him the use of the vibranium spear, and in concepts of handling that material, his father's sister, his Aunt Yuri, in the use of the most advanced Wakandan technology. As the days passed, Shoto received the spirit of the Black Panther, increasing his training with Chala, generating a much closer bond. Even with his brothers he related well, without having an emo side, but rather he was cheerful. In those years, she decided to dye her hair completely white, ignoring the red color on her half, a way to forget and bury her past with endeavor. With Izuku, whenever his father traveled, both friends played, trained and performed their mischief, in addition to fighting each other and fighting against Patriot, being lightly punished by their parents and well, everything they did as 11-year-old boys. At 12, both joined S.H.I.E.L.D., being among the youngest agents, achieving good recognition for their skills, so both were assigned to Clint under the constant observation of Fury, who despite his seriousness for children was like family. They loved/hated him when they were sent. So after several missions and at 14 years old, they went against the remaining Hydra bases, where both were given permission to participate. We find ourselves in Budapest, or rather, on it, in the helicarrier. Fury, are you really sure? Clint, yes, they need to. They can get a little childish, but it's because of their age. What they do need to learn is that they must be serious on missions. Fury, okay, bring them. Clint, Agents Izuku and Shoto are requested, unaware that they were standing next to him. Izuku, hello? Clint, KYAAA, everyone sees it weird. I mean, don't show up like that. Shoto, I told you he'd be scared. Clint, that aside, Fury needs them. Fury, both have been chosen for a mission in the city below us, one of the last Hydra bases, which we have not dismantled. Their mission is to infiltrate and obtain data. There are hidden bases and we do not know who is there. Izuku and Shoto see each other. Well, let's go bumping elbows like friends. Clint, good luck to both of you. Izuku, of course. Shoto, okay. Both retire. Clint, Nat's going to kill me. Fury, I don't think so. Sending him the video of the scream. At the Rogers Romanof house, Natasha had received the video while Thor and Tony were in the house, making the 4 of them laugh at what had happened. Back to Budapest, Izuku and Shoto had gotten off the helicarrier while wearing black suits and dyeing their hair black. Izuku, we have 3 nearby taking out some weapons with silencers. Shoto, don't kill or we'll get discovered. Izuku, of course. Both of them continued stealthily through the base, finding a computer and several storage devices, where Shoto took them, while Izuku Hakiba the computer. Izuku, this is loaded with files. I already have several. Shoto, me too. Plus I found these things looking at notes. Izuku, alliance with Yakuzas and Almight? With doubts and surprise to see that folder. Shoto, plan, eradicate endeavor, threat to All Might's truce ambitions, Hydra? A multi-page folder. Izuku, Fury must know this. Shoto, is everything ready? Izuku, yes. Shoto, let's go. The 2 of them leave unnoticed. Helicarrier. They had both boarded the helicarrier and were standing in front of Fury and Clint. Fury, well, the information they gathered from the computer files and those storage devices has revealed several bases and plans. Good work. Clint, now they've done it, they've matured a little. Izuku, thank you, sir. Mr. Fury, there is something that caught our attention with Shoto placing both folders on the table. Shoto, we found them in that place, and we saw a big problem if this were to be carried out. Fury, I understand. For now, prepare yourselves. I think that both of you at 16 will go to UA, an infiltration mission as students, Class 1A. You will go not only with that mission, your other task is to find out new recruits. Both of you know and are familiar with the Secret Warriors program perfectly along with Morgan Stark. Your job is to find out possible candidates from that place. Izuku. The others have already been chosen. Clint, see for yourself showing the screen. Izuku, Spider-Man's? Haha, Peter knew we would be a team. But I'll show you that Brooklyn is better than Queens. He thought the last thing with Grace, remembering a friend from school while he was in New York. Shoto, Ms. Marvel, Banner's son? Clint. Jake Banner has his parents' brains in Hulk's body so he doesn't lose control like him. Izuku, Francis, and Oran? This will be great. Shoto. So our own Legolas, he said with Grace, making Clint somewhat angry. Izuku. I think hanging out with Tony made him catch on to his jokes, ha 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 ha. Fury. They may as well retire. Roger's house. Izuku, I'm here. At that moment, a red-haired 3-year-old boy appeared, running very happily to greet his older brother. James, brother. Izuku. Glad to see you, little brother, lifting him up. Steve. I see you were well received. Izuku. Hello, Pa, hugging his old man. Steve. And how did it go? Izuku. We infiltrated a Hydra base, but we found plans involving Japan. Fury thinks I can go with Shoto as infiltrators as students. Steve. Will you make it clear that you want to meet Katsuki again? Izuku. I killed 2 birds with 1 stone, and nothing will happen, except running into looks at James' blonde guys without being able to say an insult because of his brother. Steve immediately got the hint. But Natasha's footsteps could be heard. Natasha. So it's true, those folders. Izuku, did you see them? Natasha, yes. Izuku, in that case I'll go. I'll complete both missions. Steve, missions? Izuku, Fury thinks he can get some potential recruits for the program. Steve, fine, I'll support them. Natasha, do you know that Fury's plan is that before the plan comes to light, there is the traitor protocol, in which both will be seen like that? Izuku, yes. Wakanda. The same conversation between Chala, Shoto, and Rei was taking place. It was understandable that they were worried about it, in addition to Chala and Yuri reporting the same protocol. Helicarrier. Fury, do you understand what your mission is, Tuya? Tuya. Of course. AFO will make his moves while All Might makes his, without thinking that we are already one step ahead of them. Fury, for the mission to be successful, we must be able to activate the infiltrated protocol at UA, which is why by activating a screen we are counting on your help, Director Nizu. Nizu, that's right. I hope the boys can. Next to him was a guy with a drugged face. That's why I selected Aizawa Shota, alias Eraserhead. Fury, for this to work, you and they will analyze your students. Only those they trust will be involved and will know the truth, and you will escape with them to the United States, while they are on the way to Tartaro's prison. Aizawa, do you really think you can? Fury, Izuku and Shoto are the most capable. Although they have pasts with All Might and Endeavor, they can both do it. They have experience as agents and can handle this. Aizawa, I understand. And you should also know that Sir used his influence, and All Might is going to be a teacher. Fury, we're aware of that. Nizu, in that case, both sides must proceed. The broadcast cuts out, and Tuya leaves for Japan to build a reputation as a villain. Time skip 1 year later. 3 days before returning to Japan, Izuku stood in his backyard as the rain fell, letting his tears fall as he punched a sandbag he took out to relieve his mental stress, remembering all his past, the pain, and what All Might had caused him. Izuku, I'll see the bastard again. I didn't think it would be so soon, but at least I'll be able to put him behind bars. Without noticing, Steve approached him, and when he stopped hitting the bag, he hugged him, making Izuku cry like a little child. Steve, let it out, you kept it in for so many years. In a few days you'll face your past and try to become a better man than you already are. Izuku, I don't know what I would do without you, Dad. Steve, rescuing and adopting you, plus everything that came with it, was the best decision I've ever made. I've watched you grow, and now I see you spreading your wings and becoming a man, something I've always wanted to see from my father's side. Izuku, you know you're being very cheesy, right? Steve, you know you get like that too. Izuku, I got it from you. They both laugh. Steve, you know, it's been a while since I left the life of a hero, and although I remain an Avenger, I think it's time for someone to take my place and continue the legacy. Taking out a bag and a circular artifact, the world needs Captain America, just as I want you to be my successor. Izuku, I don't know what to say. Steve, if you don't want, I'll let James use him as a sled. You don't want that, right? You played with him next to me as a child, wanting to use him as a hero. Izuku, I accept. I will keep the legacy, Pa. They both hugged each other again. James, yes, my brother will be a great hero, yes. Izuku, come dwarf hugging him. Natasha, I see you talked. Izuku, Mom, do you think you can help me with something? Natasha, what would it be? Izuku, would you dye my hair? I just want to avoid what you already know for a while. Natasha, sure, come in, I'll do it. In Wakanda. Chala, are you sure? Shoto, yes, I must face the old man, and face my past. That's what you taught me, Dad. Chala, you are becoming a strong and wise man. Shoto, I learned from you. Both would hug each other. New York 3 days later. Both families were present to say goodbye alongside the Avengers and friends. Tony, and well, there is no hug. Shoto, goodbye Tony. Izuku, goodbye Uncle Tony. Hulk's broccoli nephew, remember, he always smashed those who harm broccoli. If broccoli be alone, Hulk go and help smash. Jake, what Dad says is to take care of yourself, and if you get attacked, defend yourself. Thor, remember, we will meet again soon, and I tell you that if you need support, I swear by the beard of Odin that I will go and give you my arm. Speaker, Flight 3215 to Japan board immediately through Gate 15. Izuku, okay, it's time. James takes care of the fort, okay? James, of course, brother. They both hug each other. Steve, careful. Natasha, and don't overdo it with the girls. Izuku, I'll have it, and I won't exaggerate, Ma. The family hugs each other, and the Wakandan family did the same. Izuku, we'll let them know for the sports festival. Shoto, although we are going by recommendation, if the sports festival is held we will let you know. Thus, both greeting each other, they would board the plane to Muzurufu. 14 hours of flight later. Izuku, okay, we arrived. Shoto, facing the past. Both, and build the present. Chapter 4, Class 1A. Previously, Muzurufu Airport, Japan. Izuku, well, we have arrived. Shoto, facing the past. Both, and build the present. At the moment. Shoto, do you know where we'll go before going to UA? Izuku, sure, let's go to my mom's best friend Inko's house. They both decided to take a taxi to the district where Izuku used to live. The fake redhead was given memories of this place, torture, training, some games with Bakugo, his happy moments with Inko and Mitsuki. Shoto, it couldn't have been easy living here, huh? Izuku, you have no idea. Shoto, bad memories? Izuku, there are good ones too. The two continued walking down the street, receiving glances from everyone who saw them, which the newcomers ignored. They walked like this for 10 minutes until they reached their destination. Izuku hesitated for a few moments, but decided to knock on the door. Mitsuki, I'm coming. Mitsuki would open the door, while a suspicious Bakugo. Mitsuki, I can help you, without recognizing the redhead and the white-haired man at the door. Izuku, I know it's sudden that he came back, don't you think? And Mitsuki smiling. Mitsuki, and can't be Izuku-chan stepping back in surprise as Bakugo approaches. Bakugo, are you really a nerd? Izuku, sure Kaken. Both give each other a fraternal hug of reunion. Bakugo, damn nerd, you don't know how much we miss you and the old lady. Mitsuki, who are you calling old brat? Giving him a sniff. Bakugo, old witch. Mitsuki would give him another tip, respect others. Izuku, it's good to see that old habits never die, ha ha ha. Mitsuki, Izuku-chan, how have you been? Izuku, I forget to introduce someone to you first, come in Shoto. Bakugo, you are the one. Shoto, ex-son of the Flamitas, well yes. Bakugo, it's strange that you didn't write, since you're a redhead. Izuku, I'm dying to avoid the bastard, you know what he's going to insist if he sees me here, along with the monkey that accompanies him. Mitsuki, changing the subject, do you have a place to stay? Izuku, we were going to rent an apartment near UA. Bakugo, but how, if the entrance exam was last week? Izuku, we entered by recommendation, and in addition to a mission, as you well know, we are both S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and the purpose is to unmask Almight, so. Mitsuki, they don't want to raise suspicions if the heroes show up. Shoto, yes. Bakugo, those who know. Izuku, Principal Nizu and the 1A teacher. Bakugo, I'll go to that room. Izuku, we are the same, so I ask for maximum confidentiality with this. Bakugo, I'm silent and inside. Shoto, the final protocol of the mission is to mark us as traitors to the UA, while AFO does the rest. Mitsuki, who is AFO? Izuku, the symbol of evil, number 1 villain and leader of the recent League of Villains. Bakugo, what exactly do they have in mind? And how do they know that? Shoto, my brother infiltrated the League. Izuku, and the second is that if AFO reveals that All Might was wrong, it will bring down his entire image. And we will also enter with the team to stop them. Bakugo, I hope I'm in, nerd. So they continued talking about their lives, their missions, surprising Bakugo and generating a rivalry between the three. While Mitsuki invites them to sleep that night at Bakugo's house, where they surprise Masaru Bakugo, who is happy to see Izuku, a son for him after seeing All Might's face. The next day, the trio of friends headed to UA, talking about trivial things while laughing and saying something that annoyed Bakugo, displaying his characteristically explosive attitude. They continued like this for 15 minutes until they reached UA. Bakugo, we arrived. Izuku, what we both longed for since we were children. Shoto, and to think that the old man would send me here too. The trio of friends entered the UA grounds while they talked, but there was a small problem. They did not know where the UA was. There they saw a trio of young people walking, a blonde who seemed animated, a very shy black-haired emo, and a somewhat hyperactive light blue-haired girl. Izuku, excuse me. Pella Celeste, oh, who are they? Why do you have that mark on your eye? What are their names? Blonde, calm down Nijire, they are newcomers. Let me introduce myself. I'm Mirio Togata, he is Tamaki Amajiki and she is Nijire. I'm Nijire Hato, it's a pleasure. Izuku, the pleasure is mine, I'm Izuku Rogers. Mirio just got serious. You are Captain America's son. Izuku noticed it and seriously replied, that's right, I'm his son. And from your face I can see that you believe everything Sir Night-Eye and that bastard All Might tell you. Tamaki and Mirio, calm down. Nijire, what tension? Shoto, leaving that aside, let's look for Hall 1A. Nijire, follow these instructions telling you how to get there. Shoto, thanks, hey Cap, let's go. Izuku, you're right. Mirio, I will destroy you if we fight. Izuku, we'll see about that, mini sir. Bakugo and Shoto would take it as the tension indicated that both would come to blows, while the big three stopped Mirio. Nijire, Mirio, calm down, you know he's right. What Sir and All Might did to this one's son was monsters. Mirio, and it isn't. Tamaki, if it is, your fanaticism for Sir clouds your judgment. The suffering of the boy who? You said you wanted to save 1 million and that child would be left unprotected. See the reality. Mirio would open his eyes to it. He let himself be influenced by them even though they both knew that the OFA was passed on to All Might's son by conception. At least in Sir's words it had to be recovered. With the trio, Bakugo, nerd, Izuku, I'm fine. Shoto, I know you. And you know I don't like to tell you what Steve would tell you. Izuku, okay Sai, I'll calm down. Bakugo, wow, the light-haired girl wasn't wrong. Shoto, it's big, not impressed at all. Izuku, I think it's too small for Scott to pass through. Shoto, ha 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 ha, that was a good one, ha 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 ha. Katsuki, who is Scott? Izuku, and man, have you heard? Katsuki, wait for the Avengers hero who shrinks and increases his size. Izuku, that same one. Everyone would go to the classroom being the first to arrive. Present were a red-haired boy with shark teeth next to a black-haired girl with good bust, and a boy with a crow's face. Over time, the 20 students of Class 1A would arrive, where the moment of absolute silence was interrupted by a blue-haired man with glasses. Blue-haired, put your feet off the table. Bakugo, huh? And why should I do it? Blue-haired, you must have respect for all the heroes who have stepped foot in this room, and that includes respecting the banks. Bakugo, and who are you, side character? Who are you to tell me what to do extra, huh? Blue-haired, I'm Tenya Lita from Semi-Private Academy. Bakugo, an elite will be fun to crush you. Lita, crush me? Do you really want to be a hero? Izuku, and you? He asked, do you really think you're a hero with such a lateral character? Lita, and who are you? Annoyed. Izuku, I apologize for not introducing myself. I am Izuku Rogers Romanof. Redhead, you are the son of Captain America, he said excitedly. Izuku, I don't think it's that bad. Lita, great, a damn Yankee. Izuku, language. Shoto, you already sound like your dad. Izuku, I hate you, Panther. Pink-haired, and that means that. Violet-haired, we have the children of 2 Avengers with us surprised. Redhead, I'm Eijiro Kurishima. It's a pleasure to meet you, Izaburo. Izuku, the pleasure is mine, shaking hands. Lita, don't ignore me. Aizawa, if you came to fight and make friends, go somewhere else. Izuku, Don't you think you're introducing yourself mysteriously? Who raised her head? Aizawa, perceptive nose son of Captain America and Black Widow. I am Aizawa Shota and I will be your homeroom teacher for the next 3 years. I know it's sudden, but put this on showing the UA sports outfit. Everyone would proceed to go change. In the men's locker room, everyone was changing in the living room, while a hairy man addicted to Manuela could be seen watching through a hole. Kirishima, hey, what do you see? Paluva, look at a gift from our senpais showing a hole. Blonde, a hole? Paluva, it's not just any hole, it leads to the girls' locker room. I already want to see Yayorosa's big Yayorosa tits, Ashido's waist, Hagakure's floating panties, Uraraka's machi body, Ajri's unexpected tits. Izuku, Mineta right? Mineta, yes. Izuku, what do you think you're doing? Mineta, see our legacy. Izuku, I see taking out the black whip. To take it, I think someone doesn't understand that as a hero you shouldn't do perverted acts. Mineta, as if Captain America's son were so correct. Izuku, polite you mean. Shoto, cover the hole please. Shoto, of course, using ice. From the girls' locker room. Momo, thank you Rogers-san. Uraraka, thank you Izuku-in. In the men's locker room. Lita, boastful, he whispered without knowing that he was heard by Izuku, but Mineta, that is wrong, moving his arms like robots. At the training camp. Aizawa, it took 10 minutes, something completely irrational. As you will see, we will do a quirk test. Uraraka, but without an entrance ceremony? Aizawa, if you want to be heroes, there's no time for that stuff. It's time to give your all to start. Bakugo, you were first in the entrance exam, so go to the circle and throw the ball with your quirk. Don't hold back. Bakugo did as requested and looked at Izuku defiantly, while the redhead looked at him. Bakugo, shiny, throwing an explosion. Aizawa, to know what range you should have, you must first know your limits. The meters showing 780 meters. Kirishima, that was great, wasn't it, Mina? Mina, will we be able to use our quirks? It'll be fun. Aizawa, fun, huh? They have 3 years to become heroes, so what do you think if we make it more fun? Whoever comes in last place will be classified as having no potential and will be expelled. Everyone, Izuku and Shoto, each. Aizawa, I can do it since at UA they give us teachers the freedom to teach classes as we want, going beyond their plus ultra limits. One by one the students went through each test, where Izuku and Shoto stood out even in the speed test, surpassing Lita's 3 seconds, which made him annoyed. All this happened while a sclerotic blonde-haired boy with a look of having suffered watched everything, but with great curiosity of the young redhead until he heard a surname that made him angry. Aizawa, Rogers, come in for the ball test. Izuku, as ordered. Izuku positioned himself to throw it while being watched by everyone as Aizawa used his quirk on him. Izuku, go throwing the ball. Aizawa, surprised. 2 kilometers. But how if I disabled your quirk? Even All Might was surprised. Izuku, you disable quirks, sensei. But not what my father inherited from me. The super soldier serum in my body runs through my veins, and even thanks to the quirk phenomenon, the serum is improved and enhanced within me. His quirk does not affect me, like the anti-quirk handcuffs, since it could be said that I am a super soldier like my father Steve Rogers. All Might. So the bastard captain sent his son to UA. I'd like to see how he corrupted his son in his ideals, he thought. Aizawa, I knew he would do it, but Izuku said it so that All Might wouldn't suspect him, and from the blonde scarecrow's face, I can see that he wants to influence him. It's a shame that we know what his move is, he thought, smiling internally. Everyone started to sweat because the presentation of the classroom results was coming up. 1 Izuku Rogers Romanof, 2 Todoroki from Wakanda, 3 Katsuki Bakugo, 4 Tenya Lita, 5 Eijiro Kirishima, 6 Momo Yayorosa, 20 Toru Hagakure. Toru, Waoya. I don't want to go, Waoya. Aizawa, about the expulsion, it was a rational lie to get them to give their 100%. Momo, it was obvious if you thought about it. Izuku, not to contradict you, Momo-san. Momo, what do you mean? Indignant and curious. Izuku, Aizawa-sensei has expelled entire classes for not having potential. Momo, eh? Surprised. Aizawa, anyway, go to the classroom. There you will have the study program and the rest of the class hours. Everyone leaves, while All Might walks out with a fake smile. All Might, you are a liar, Aizawa-kun. Aizawa, his potential is not 0, that's all I'll say. All Might, and Roger's son? With some poison. Aizawa, his potential is vast. Even though his father is an Avenger, he prefers to study here. Almight, I see. This is how it happened. This is how the school day went, where they held classes like any other academy until it was time to leave. Chapter 5, Possible Candidates, Hero Class, and an Announced Enmity. After finishing the first day of school, the trio of friends were heading to the Bakugo house. Because Mitsuki insisted too much for them to stay, the trio was talking about trivialities when a voice caught their attention. Lita, hey. Izuku, oh Lita-san, can I do something for you? Lita, yes, go back to your country, damn Yankee. We don't need an American making us look ridiculous in Japan. Izuku was going to answer, but a dog, bear, or mouse interrupted the conversation. Nizu, wow. It seems that a student threatens another without prior aggression. I think that would merit punishment. Lita, Director Nizu, excuse me, I got carried away and I'm a bit of a nationalist, she lied. Nizu, I'll let it go this time. Kirishima, hey, are you going to the subway? Izuku, sure, are you coming? Kirishima, yes. So the redhead and the trio continued on their way to the subway station. As there they separated to go their homes. Time skip 1 hour, Bakugo's house. The trio had arrived and greeted Masaru and Mitsuki, where upon arrival they began to display holograms of all the information they gathered from Aizawa's exam. Izuku, Shoto, you can start. Shoto, as you say, Minoru Mineta, pop-off quirk, allows him to detach balls from his head and throw them. These spheres can stick to anything except himself. He's perverted and extremely repulsive to women, as he goes so far as to harass them. Izuku, discarded. He's not a good match for the program and at the first sign he'll end up out of it. Bakugo, Kaminari Denki, electrification quirk, allows him to emit electricity from his body as if it were a protective aura and can paralyze anyone who comes into contact with it. By using his electricity, Denki gains a defense mechanism that shakes those who touch him. If he produces too much electricity, he throws a discharge that lashes out in several directions, and depending on the voltage his body reaches, it can leave him in idiot mode as if it were a short circuit. Shoto, and his personality? Bakugo, he's a kind, sociable, and energetic boy who enjoys talking to people. He's very good at making friends and is quite casual when interacting with others. He's a bit mischievous, occasionally joining in on pranks, and also has a tendency toward perversion. Izuku, nothing we can't fix, along with his quirk dependency, nothing we can't fix with training. Shoto, he will be considered as a candidate, but not fully accepted. It's your turn. Izuku, Rikido Sato, quirk sugar rush, allows him to increase his strength while ingesting sugar, but it has the disadvantage that it would leave him in a state of primitive reasoning. In addition, Rikido has an interest in sweets and baking, the latter being a useful skill due to his quirk. Bakugo, I say we leave it as possible. Shoto, I think the same. Shoto, Yuga Hoyama, naval laser quirk. His quirk allows him to launch beams from his abdomen, although if he exceeds his limit, he will be very sore. His personality seems to be a vain and proud person, thinking of himself as superior to the rest of our classmates, although if you ask me it is a facade. I asked Morgan to investigate. At that moment, a hologram of Morgan Stark appears on the scene. Morgan, glad to see you, but I'm here to give you what I found from Shoto's analysis. Shoto, what did you find? Morgan, from the beginning he is a quirkless boy. That explains in detail his mask. What we find is that his parents saw All for One, and as they know, Izuku, he gave him a quirk. If you ask me, he's not a bad boy, as far as I see, but, Bakugo, what are you afraid of? Izuku, that he's being used as a pawn to infiltrate UA. Shoto, you and I will see it with him, and if necessary we will use him as a double agent. Bakugo, I agree. Morgan, and me, if that's all, I'm leaving. Izuku, thanks Morgan. Say hi to Uncle Tony and your brother Jordan for me. The hologram would turn off. Izuku, we'll see the next one and that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll continue evaluating and seeing, just in case Lita Tenya is ruled out. There's something about him I don't like. Bakugo, okay. Next, Sharktooth Redhead, Kirishima Aijiro. Hardening quirk allows him to harden any part of his body, increasing the hardness and resistance of the hardened parts, which serve both for attack and defense. His personality is of a boisterous and outgoing type with a fondness for the concept of masculinity. Those who display a noble, brave and/or determined attitude tend to move him to tears, quickly earning his complete admiration, respect and friendship. He is very honest and kind-hearted and follows a specific code of chivalry that motivates him to live without regret. Shoto, something similar to you, except for the masculine aspect. Izuku, I want it inside. Bakugo and Shoto would nod. So after Mitsuki's dinner and a hot bath, they proceeded to go to sleep. The next day, Shoto and Izuku woke up Bakugo at 6 in the morning and went to Dagoba Beach, where they decided to clean it to use it as a sparring place and teach the Muslim to defend himself without using his quirk, in addition to helping him with his physique, because against the new Cap and the new Black Panther, he was very, very far away. At 8 in the morning, after showering and having breakfast, they proceeded to go to the UA, where without being noticed by anyone and with the support of Aizawa and Nizu, they discussed Kirishima's situation, seeing his potential and offering him a hand as a member of the team. Even Fury was surprised to see with all the data they passed a good potential, but much unpolished, since the redhead did not have a defined fighting style. It depended on his quirk, in addition to having some gaps in his personality, nothing that S.H.I.E.L.D. cannot handle when the time comes. Added to that, they notified of all the findings and possible candidates from what was analyzed last night. The classes would begin being the typical ones of a normal school day: math with ectoplasm, English with present mic, art with midnight, which made them see Mineta as the worst option to be a hero, added to the fact that Kaminari for some strange reason was called to Izuku's group, to get him away from Mineta a little, and prevent his perversion from winning, although the efforts were somewhat perverted, the blonde showed. But never to the point of being an idiot obsessed with touching breasts and butts. At lunchtime, the group was sitting telling anecdotes, revealing some missions they did with S.H.I.E.L.D. Amazing the group. Kirishima wanted to shout things about how manly and masculine they were, but Kaminari covered his mouth. It should be clarified that the group was joined by a violet-haired boy with the demeanor of never having touched a bed, a feeling of being his teacher's son, of being the son of a mother caterpillar. From Class B they met a rather idiotic and annoying blonde named Nito Minoma, so thanks to the Stark Industries chips, they managed to infiltrate Class B and obtain information to analyze at night. After lunch in Classroom 1A, the students were at their desks waiting for their sensei to arrive. Kirishima, isn't Aizawa-sensei taking too long? Kaminari, yes. Lita, it's disrespectful that we're from the prestigious UA Academy, and the professor doesn't arrive on time, waving his arms like a robot. I am doing JoJo poses and a ridiculous entrance, walking through the door like a normal person. All Izuku, Todoroki and Bakugo. It's All Might. Kirishima, I didn't know he taught here. Tsuyu, I thought it would be Aizawa-sensei. Izuku, the old shitty bastard, he thought, annoyed. Shoto, I hope he calms down and doesn't want to hit him. Bakugo, damn blonde on shine steroids. All Might, ha 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 ha, that's right. I'll be your fundamental hero studies teacher. But first you'll need these by pressing a button revealing the briefcases with the hero's suits. I'll wait for you in 15 minutes at Camp Gamma, ha ha ha. So everyone proceeded to go change their uniforms for their suits. All Might, they say the suit doesn't make the hero, but you guys look fantastic, ha ha ha. All Might, okay, is everyone ready? Lita, Rogers-san and Shoto-san are missing. All Might, so Enji-san here, it will be interesting to see him. Izuku, sorry for the delay, hee. My suit couldn't fit. Author's note, imagine him with red hair. All Lita, wow, it's incredible. It's the captain's suit. All Might, shit and shit. He is already prepared and decided to be that. There is no doubt that he is incorruptible, he said with a smile, thinking. Bakugo, not bad, Cap, mocking. Izuku, we'll see about that, smiling. Shoto, I'm missing. All Might, he's Black Panther. All Might, vibranium. This is interesting. So Enji's son, the new Black Panther. Interesting, I thought again. Lita, I'll crush both of you damn things, she thought with great jealousy. Momo, sensei, what will be the work we will do? All Might, right, taking out some cards, we will do combat training. And we will do the following. The villains have taken a bomb and plan to detonate it. There will be 2x2 teams of heroes versus villains. Any questions? Lita, how the groups will be chosen? Izuku, they must be random. If you look at reality, heroes must often be making teams with others they don't know, so. Tsuyu, they want to show a real Karo battle. All Might, this is shonens. The teams are like in the anime. All Might, first team, Rogers and Uraraka heroes, Bakugo and Lita villains. Lita, but what? Why? I come from a family of heroes, so I can't be a villain. Izuku, it seems you're afraid of losing, huh? Provoking him. Lita, you know, sensei, I'll accept this challenge. I'll annihilate you, you bucking Yankee. Izuku, do you know that All Might made his debut in the United States? All Might, yes, it's true. Lid shit. All Might, okay, go prepare yourselves. With the villains. Bakugo, you stay and I'll go for the nerd. Lita, no, you'll stay here. I have pending accounts with him. Bakugo, okay. Lita would only retire. Bakugo, it was easier than I thought. I didn't think he was going after him with those emotions. He thought knowing the nerd will make the round face come for me. With the heroes. Uraraka, hey Rogers-san, what are we doing? Izuku, most likely one of the two will come, so I'll buy you time while you go up. The most important thing is not to waste time in unnecessary battles, since in the real field it will be our ruin. Uraraka, I understand. Izuku, I'll stay with whoever comes down, and after defeating him I'll go up to give you a hand. Speakers start. Both heroes ran into the building, but something caught their attention. Izuku perceived from his experience that a speedster was approaching. His training with Quicksilver helped a lot, so he took his shield and threw it to where the sound came from, where under the gaze of his partner and the building's cameras, causing the shield to crash into Lita's face, breaking his glasses, the septum, and leaving him unconscious. In the observation room, Shoto, well thought out and in thoughts, memories of Vienna. That training with Wanda's brother definitely helped. Kirishima, did you see that? That was manly, very masculine. Kaminari, no doubt he is the Cap's son. All Might, damn, I didn't think he had so much similarity in his character. Experience. Wait a minute, he fights as if he already had it. Unless he's a SHIELD agent, it's not my ideas. He's too young to do it, and knowing the bastard Steve, I wouldn't let him. He thought, pay attention shonens, the captain's son shows you how to do your job. In the field, Izuku and Uraraka continued running until they reached the 5th floor where, by pure luck, they dodged an explosion from Bakugo. Bakugo, so that impulsive guy lost. Too bad I'm not that stupid, throwing himself shiny. Izuku only covered himself with the shield, which upon receiving the impact of the explosion sounded a loud metallic bang, leaving a curtain of smoke, which when dissipated, Uraraka was seen touching the bomb. All Might, the heroes win, returning to the room with an angry Lita and a purple nose. All Might, well, can someone tell me who stands out in the area? Momo, I'd say it was Lita. Jiro, no, it's not him. Kaminari, it was Izuku Rogers along with Uraraka who devised the plan and executed it to the letter. The other was Bakugo, who despite being left aside by Lita continued to defend. Momo felt indignant. How could she, as a member of the most influential family in Japan, the Yayorozu, accept someone telling her she was wrong? All Might, this is shonens, it's time to follow the fights, and in thoughts, I must move very carefully. Thus the other teams passed, being the same as in the anime, except for Shoto's, who, taking advantage of his training in Wakanda and experience, managed to infiltrate the building without being noticed and touch the bomb. Chapter 6. Possible candidates and class president. After the heroism classes, we can see the group boarding the subway at the station, because they had to see something at the Bakugo's house, without knowing that a blue-haired man was following them and listening to everything. At least they didn't talk about what they wanted to do, since Shoto, thanks to the training with Chala, managed to detect it. So during the trip to the station they were talking about various things. Among them Izuku's rivalry/friendship with Peter Parker. Shoto, and that's how the New York Spider and the new Cap get along. Izuku, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Brooklyn is better than Queens, period. New York. In a building we can see Spider-Man drinking his milk from a box while watching people. He wanted to help like he used to do as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Peter, because I have the feeling that Izuku wants us to discuss again that Queens is better than Brooklyn at that his spider sense activates, and he dodges a blow from Gwen. Oh hi Gwen. Gwen. So they continue with that childish fight with Izuku at clenching their knuckles and scaring the spider. Gwen Stacy, since she met them both, knows that their rivalry makes them behave like idiots, so as the sane person in the group, she keeps them in line with a few blows to the head. Back in Japan, Izuku, why do I feel like Gwen wants to hit me? It's not my idea. Shoto, bad feeling? He asked mockingly. The spider girl wants to hit you. Izuku, I felt that sensation, so there's no need to worry. While they were talking, Lita heard that. Lita Spider? Spider-Man, a vigilante who should be imprisoned as a criminal. Heroes should have a license, she thought with some anger and arrogance. So they continued on their way as they entered Bakugo's house to close the door and leave Lita outside, leaving him with no choice but to leave. Mitsuki, welcome guys. Izuku, thanks for the welcome, Aunt. What's up, Mitsuki? Your parents are on video call. Izuku, I'm coming. At that the trio retreats to Izuku's room, where upon entering they saw 3 people. James, brother. Izuku, hello mom, dad and little brother, how have you been? Steve, okay son, just a little worried that you haven't called. Izuku, I'm sorry about that, it's just that I was catching up with Kaken plus UA activities. Natasha, I understand, I just hope you're okay and haven't caused any fights. Izuku, regarding fights, Shoto almost caused an argument with one of the big 3 who is Sir's pupil, since he received insults, and we took him out with Katsuki. Katsuki, I would have liked them to be shine, but oh well. James, Katsuki is the best. Katsuki, call me Kaken like your little brother, I'll allow it. Izuku, I don't know why I feel replaced. Steve, well, we were calling to see how you were doing, but seeing that you have work, we left you alone. Izuku, if I'm not mistaken, the sports festival is in 2 weeks, I'll let you know. Natasha, take care. James, goodbye brother, goodbye Shoto, goodbye Kaken. The screen turns off. Izuku, it's impossible for me not to hate the dwarf. Shoto, okay, let's get on with work. Katsuki would deploy the hologram to analyze what he saw. Shoto, well, let's start seeing those we couldn't. Izuku, Tsuyu Ajiri, Frog Quirk, there is no need to explain much about what she can do. She is a simple and relaxed person, and apparently she always speaks directly from her mind and what she thinks about others. Katsuki has potential. Shoto, I agree, although that thing about saying things directly. Izuku, maybe we can fix that, or at least teach him where to say it and where not to. Katsuki, let's continue. Fumikage Tokoemi, Dark Shadow Quirk, a shadowy and monstrous being inside his body that can materialize and dematerialize at will. He is reserved, serious and focused, although noble and brave, if he wants to. Although he doesn't talk much, he will directly ignore questions or requests that seem useless. He seems to be an emo, but if he joins others he becomes sociable. He is fond of darkness and other related concepts. Izuku, inside he has potential, but it depends on his quirk, like everyone else. Shoto, that's a common denominator, they depend a lot on their quirk. Katsuki, they're right. Izuku, go Mr. Great Explosion Shine, recognizing that he shouldn't depend on his quirk. This must be a miracle mocking. Katsuki just went to a corner to mutter shitty Dika's shine. Shoto, let's put that aside, making Bakugo recompose himself next. Mina Ashido, acid quirk, allows her to shoot a corrosive liquid from her body. She can control its solubility and viscosity. She is an energetic and cheerful person who shows a big smile on her face most of the time. Mina is highly sociable, since she can almost never be seen without talking to someone by her side and loves spending time with her friends, getting a little annoyed when she is denied the opportunity to be in a meeting of her class. Besides, she does not know how to keep secrets. Izuku, let's keep her as a possible member, at least for help, not as an official member. Katsuki, they call her the Queen of Gossip along with the Invisible Girl. Do you think it's a good idea? Shoto, I'm with him. Izuku, they are right, but I maintain my position. Let's continue. Toru Hagakure, invisibility quirk, her body is completely invisible, and as far as we know, she cannot deactivate it. Personality, cheerful and calm, who does most things with an optimistic attitude, even if she is manipulated to do so, in addition to being the gossip queen. Shoto, I'm for a no. Even if they have potential, it's bad that they don't know how to keep secrets if the missions have that need. Izuku Katsuki? Katsuki, I'm with the half-half, so let's continue. Siro Hanta, quirk tape, allows him to shoot material similar to cellophane tape from his elbows, as well as retract it. He is a very friendly person and has proven to be one of the most sociable members of Class 1A. He can be loud and flashy at times, as well as having a tendency to be perverted. Izuku, what do you think? Shoto, I say no, the 2 spiders are already here. Izuku, I think the same. Katsuki, okay, ruled out? Izuku, no, just leave it as possible and that's it. Shoto, we'll leave our classroom. Hitoshi Shinzo, brainwash quirk, belongs to the support courses. His quirk allows him to take control of the minds of anyone who responds to him verbally. The victim will be forced to obey his commands. He is a very stoic and direct person with an innate ability to start a conversation with anyone, despite maintaining a reserved and calm attitude most of the time. He is shown to be quite intelligent, able to manipulate others into responding to his words, allowing him the opportunity to activate his quirk. Izuku, like Professor Charles Xavier, interesting from the inside. Shoto, I agree. Katsuki, I think the same. Izuku, let's take a look at the candidates we already have to add them. Kirishima Eijiro, Denki Kaminari, Hitoshi Shinzo, Yuga Hoyama. I don't see any bad potentials. Shoto, I will warn Aizawa-sensei about this. Izuku, and I to Fury. Time skip the next morning. We can see Class 1A, having an English class with present Mike, where at the slightest mistake the pro-hero would shout to reprimand them, saving Izuku for having lived in the United States and speaking it fluently, like Shoto, for his education in Wakanda. After English class, our favorite caterpillar mom entered room 1A. Aizawa, I've seen the class fights yesterday, so I can tell some did a good job and others. Lita, I know you don't like being told you're doing bad, but don't let your emotions get the better of you. Lita, yes, sensei. Aizawa, Bakugo, they are your companions, so avoid giving comments that make them angry and get out of their minds. In a real situation, the villains will take advantage of it, and it will end with the death of both heroes. Bakugo, yes, sensei. Aizawa, Shoto and Rogers, good job. Your training with your respective parents has made it clear that despite your lack of experience, you can go out and fight outside, although that doesn't mean that you will. Both, of course, sensei. Aizawa and Yayorozu, learn to know when you are wrong. The fact that you come from a powerful family does not make you right about everything. That is why you must learn to give in. Yayorozu, of course, she said in a false way. How can I, Yayorozu, accept such stupidity? They should be at my feet, she thought arrogantly. Aizawa, well, at this point you should giving a pause that completely scared everyone. Kirishima, another exam? With fear. Uraraka, expulsion punishment? With fear. Aizawa with a scary smile. They will elect the class president. The students Izuku, Katsuki and Todoroki. It's a normal school class. Screaming. Kirishima, choose me and I'll make the most masculine class. Mina, choose me and you'll have the most fun class. Mineta, pick me and I'll make the girls wear skirts 30 centimeters shorter with a perverted smile. Lita, ahem, being class president is a big responsibility, so we can elect him by vote. Tsuyu, we don't know each other so everyone will vote for themselves. Lita, what does Aizawa-sensei suggest? Aizawa, do what you want. Lita, it will be by voting. At that moment Shoto and Katsuki saw each other and smiled somewhat evilly. 15-minute time skip. Votes. Izuku 6 votes. Momo 4 votes. Katsuki 2 vote. Lita 2 votes. Tsuyu 2 votes. Tokoemi 1 vote. Ojiro 1 vote. Mina 1 vote. Kirishima 1 vote. Lita only 2 votes. Izuku, so I'm the class president. Momo, how could a low-class Yankee be the leader and not me? A Yayorozu who has knowledge, she thought jealously. Aizawa, Rogers will be the class president and Yayorozu the vice. Izuku, well, I'll do my best. Momo, I will support, she said forcefully. Rogers-san. Time skip. Lunchtime. Our group of 4 was having lunch where Izuku made a sign inviting Shinzo to sit with them, since none of them had been bothered. Izuku, hey Shinzo, right? Shinzo, yes. Izuku, okay, come sit with us. Shinzo, do you know what my quirk is? Izuku, I guess brainwashing? Shinzo, if you don't think it's a villain quirk? Izuku, no, besides, why would I think that? Besides, I don't have a quirk as such. Shinzo, what's your name? Izuku, I'm Izuku Rogers. Shinzo, you're the captain's son, right? Super soldier serum, quirkless but at the same time not. Shoto, sit with us. We want you to be there because if the sports festival allows you to move up, you could be in our class. Shinzo, thank you with an imperceptible smile. Alarm. Alert, alert, infiltration to the UA. Alert level 3. Izuku, infiltration, huh? Shoto, do your job, Cap. Katsuki, prove you're the class president. Cap. Izuku, so you voted and that he uses a holographic shield to call attention. Your attention, please. As future heroes, our job is not to cause panic. If people see this generation that with just an alarm they flee terrified like chickens seeing a fox, how do you think society will react? Also look out the windows, it's only the press. Go to your classrooms in an orderly manner. Everyone would look out the windows and go to their living rooms ashamed. Izuku, Jarvis, any news? He whispered so that only an earpiece in his ear could hear. Jarvis, negative sir, just an attempt by the League of Villains to infiltrate the UA, so they can declare war on it. Izuku, I see, keep me posted. Jarvis, as you command, sir. Izuku, Shoto, Kaken, keep your eyes open. Both, as you order, Captain. Shinzo and Kirishima saw that and noticed that something was up. So at Izuku's signal they retreated to the principal's office with them because they would be the first to know the truth. There they were in front of the director and Aizawa. Nizu, so they've already chosen, haven't they? Izuku, it's true. Kirishima, wait, we didn't do anything wrong, right? Shinzo, I have that doubt. Director, not at all young. What we want to tell you is, Fury, let me explain, Mr. Nizu. Nizu, go ahead, Director Fury. Fury, as you can see, Japanese society is on the verge of collapse, so the situation warrants a response team. This team will be the next generation of Avengers, and although there are some already selected, the mission of finding candidates in UA in order to belong to said group was entrusted. The program is called Secret Warriors. Kirishima and Shinzo were surprised. They had just entered the UA and were already being considered to participate in an initiative of similar size to the Avengers. It was incredible. The emotion they felt was enormous. Fury, you can continue, Rogers. Izuku, I can trust you that what is said here will not get out, right? Shinzo, I am a grave. Kirishima, hiding things isn't for men, but if it's a mission, count me in. Izuku, you see, the purpose of Panther and me being in UA is starting to tell the findings found in Hydra bases, Almight's events in the United States, and more actions about what the League of Villains is, and that would be all. That is why they are being selected. I understand that they do not want to participate or do not believe. Fury, if they're inside, that means they'll be S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Shinzo, count me in. I know what All Might is, so I'm in. Kirishima, at first I didn't believe that news, but seeing that Izubro is telling it, I'll help put that unhappy and unmanly man in jail. Count on me. Izuku, it's decided. From now on, Secret Warriors Japan goes into action. After our classes we will go to Bakugo's house, since Kaken already knew about everything and was an agent for us. Fury, Katsuki Bakugo, when you get home you will find a package with everything you need as an agent. Fury out. The screen where the beloved Nick Fury was would turn off. Izuku, well, it's decided. We'll see each other at the exit. All HAI. Nizu, good luck, young people, you'll need it. So everyone would retire to finish their class day, where in room 1A, Aizawa would congratulate Izuku for his quick action and his call to attention, in addition to informing him that they would go to USJ the next day. USJ, Class A Capability Review. We met at Bakugo's house, where thanks to the holograms we could see the information of Class 1A, as well as a list of several rejected students. This surprised the newcomers. Kirishima, hey, I'm asking, Mina is someone incredible because they don't accept her, seeing that she was in a rejection phase, somewhat annoying. Izuku, Kirishima, this is a secret. Kirishima, oh gossip queen, sorry for not seeing that. He embarrassed because he realized why he was out of the program. Shinzo, even though I'm not from your class, you took me into account? Surprised and happy at the same time, without showing it. Izuku, I have all the classes including the support course, plus the pink-haired girl from the support class. I already sent her information to Morgan Stark in case she wants to be on the team. Kirishima, I know I shouldn't ask, but who are we apart from us? Shoto, Spider-Man, Spider-Girl, I know it's Spider-Gwen, but it's worth it. The son of Hulk, Thoran, the son of Hawkeye, Ms. Marvel, and according to the latest reports from Fury, an arrangement with the X-Men, Magneto's grandson, Ironheart, and if all goes well, Morgan's twin brother as another kind of Iron Man. Shinzo, wow. Katsuki, they should know seriously. Izuku, you see, this has a final phase, but before it is executed, we must proceed with this phase, Traitor Protocol. It implies that both Shoto and I will be seen as traitors to the UA, as infiltrators of the recent League of Villains, whose leader is the antithesis of All Might himself. Kirishima, wow, they're ready. Shinzo, but is there really a traitor? Shoto, Yuga Hoyama, birth Quirk, Quirkless, current Quirk naval laser, his family facing the fear of discrimination. Shinzo, he went to All for One for a Quirk. Kirishima, does he know we have this? Izuku, no, after the USJ we will bring him to make him betray the League and get information. Shinzo, ingenious double agent. Kirishima, He's unmanly but amazing. Katsuki, sorry to break this cliffhanger, but let's finish with the glimpses into Class A and C the candidates. Shoto, Uraraka Ochiko's quirk Zero Gravity allows her to eliminate the effects of gravity from solid objects by touching them with her fingertips. She is able to activate or cancel the effects of her quirk by closing her fingers. She is a very warm and lively person who thinks positively about everything, although she is objective enough to see flaws as well as virtues. She is generally empathetic, friendly with those she meets, and will try to help or defend anyone who is kind to her or in need. Izuku, he has the same defect as everyone else, he doesn't know how to be without depending on his quirk, and that goes for you. Until we activate the Trader Protocol, you will be with us on Dagoba Beach that we use as sparring to train with Bakugo and martial arts. Kirishima, training is for men. Shinzo, I'm in. Katsuki, let's say if he's in or not. Izuku, I vote yes. Shoto, me too. Katsuki, I vote for Round Face to be in. Shinzo, well, I'm new so I won't vote. Kirishima, in that case, neither do I. Katsuki, let's move on. Mashireo Ojiro. Mashireo's quirk gives him a long, strong, and resilient tail. He is incredibly adept at using it, as he has demonstrated creative skills such as slamming it into the ground to increase his speed. Mashireo has a very calm and noble demeanor, as well as a very deep sense of dignity, which prevents him from accepting results that he doesn't feel were achieved through his own abilities. He is also described as a hard worker. Izuku, he's in. Everyone okay? Everyone nods. Kirishima, Momo Yayorozu. Izuku, no. Shoto, and that would be it? Katsuki, she has the impulse that since she comes from a wealthy family her word is law and what she says will be done. She is also arrogant and has been shown to be false. Author's note. I know they're going to kill me for this decision, but it's the reality I want to take with this fic. It's weird to see a Momo like that, but hey, it's reality, and what was decided. Shinzo, I continue. Koji Koda. His quirk allows him to control animals. Whatever command he gives, the animal will carry it out. His ability to control animals extends to insects as well. He is a quiet and shy person. Katsuki, I don't see it as possible, but rather as something to be taken into account but not discarded. Izuku, I agree. Shoto, I continue. Mizo Shoji. His quirk gives him a set of tentacles next to his arms. He can transform the tips of these tentacles to replicate other parts of his body. He is a very kind and gentle person who will work well with anyone. He is not the type to hold grudges, showing no ill will towards those who unintentionally hurt him. Izuku, he has potential, they say. Shoto is inside. Katsuki, okay. Izuku, well, last one and that's it for today. Kyokujiro. Her quirk grants her headphone-like jacks in her ears that can stretch up to 6 meters and plug into all sorts of things, sending out amplified sound waves from her heartbeat that can wreak havoc. She's pragmatic, unenthusiastic, and a mocker, which she primarily shows towards those she finds irritating. Shoto, inside. Everyone would nod, and those who didn't live there would retire to bed. They would also have their own communication headsets with each other and with Jarvis, a program Tony Stark had given them, originally called Jarvis 2, as a gift for being the successor to Tony's first assistant. Time jump. UA Courtyard. Class 1A was there, since they were leaving for the USJ to carry out a hero activity, such as the rescue as Aizawa told them that day. Everyone was wearing their costumes so they boarded the bus without queuing. Izuku's suggestion, which bothered Lita and Momo somewhat, she didn't care since even if they told her, because she was Yayorozu, she wouldn't listen to anyone inferior to her. So after starting the bus trip they were talking about trivial things until Tsuyu touched on a sensitive subject. Tsuyu, Rogers-san Karo. Izuku, yes? Tsuyu, you know, I'm a person who says what I think, no matter who's in front of me. Izuku thinking, yes, I already noticed it. Tsuyu, do you think I can ask you something? Izuku, of course. Tsuyu, what is your quirk since it increases your abilities as if you were All Might? That caught everyone's attention except for his friends who begged Kami not to talk too much. Izuku, Tsuyu, as I said at the beginning of the school year, my father is Steve Rogers, a hero in himself without a quirk. Lita, in that case, what are you doing here quirkless? This bothered several people on the bus, including Aizawa, since despite not having a quirk, they were still human beings. Izuku, leaving that aside, I'm not quirkless, but from what my father inherited from me, The Super Soldier Serum. That is the increase of almost all my physical abilities, such as regeneration. See you. Oh, I understand, you're like Quirkless but at the same time not. Izuku, exactly. Aizawa, okay, be quiet, we're here, so get down. When they got off, they saw a kind of hero, in an astronaut suit, very fluffy and resembling the marshmallow monster from Ghostbusters. Uraraka, oh, it's 13. I love 13, excited like a fangirl. 13, it's a pleasure to meet you young people. So I would proceed to give them the explanations of the quirks, and that they can kill. Jarvis, gentlemen, they have infiltrated. I estimate that the USJ will be isolated. Izuku, Jarvis informs Nizu of what you reported. Everyone sees it, except those who heard Jarvis's warning. Izuku, what? Ojiro, who are you talking to? Izuku, oh, an artificial intelligence that I have, a gift from Tony Stark, and it found a flaw in the system. Since in that, you can see a purple portal in the center of the USJ from which villains begin to emerge precisely that they snuck in. Aizawa, did you call for reinforcements? Izuku, I think so. Jarvis? Jarvis, sir, everyone is isolated, thanks to the fact that the satellite that gives me origin is impossible to isolate. I still remain online. Izuku, that's a relief, send a warning to Nizu. Jarvis, it's done, sir. Izuku, sensei is done, everything has fallen. Jarvis is the only one standing. Aizawa, in that case, retreat launching into a fight. Shoto, Cap? Bakugo, order Captain. Izuku, 13 permission to help Aizawa-sensei. 13 behind me now. As Kurogiri appeared. Kurogiri, greetings young people. We are the League of Villains, and we have come so that Almight can take his last breath. Does anyone know where he is? Izuku, dear villain, the job of the symbol of peace he spat with little venom so as not to be noticed is somewhat tedious. So he must have gotten exhausted and asked for the day off to teach classes. Kurogiri, oh, in that case, I'm sorry to do this using his quirk, but he notices something on his metallic cape. What is this? I can't use my Kasei. Shoto, is a quirk isolator developed in Wakanda. Izuku, in that case 13 sensei? 13, resigned go. Izuku, Bakugo, Kirishima, and Shoto would jump in to help Aizawa fight the villains. Yue. Nizu was drinking coffee with Midnight, Present Mike and Cementos. Jarvis, Director, there's an infiltration in progress. The USJ is completely isolated, except for my systems. The voice made the teachers go on alert. Nizu, thanks Jarvis, we'll go right away. Teachers, we must go. The teachers, HAI. Midnight, what are you hiding, Director? Back at USJ, Aizawa was fighting with his goggles on, but two large-bodied villains positioned themselves in front of him. Their mutation quirks put the pro-hero at a disadvantage, but a shield hid both of them and returned to its bearer, seeing the new Cap America. Izuku, you know the last time I saw two bullies we ended up in total disagreement. Villain 1, who do you think you are? Villain 2, oh yes, he is the son of that damn Yankee with his shield. Villain 3, if he cuts off one of our heads. Villain 4, 2 more will replace her. Upon hearing that, Izuku and Shoto became more serious than usual. There was only one group they knew by that phrase, Hydra. That caught the attention of Kirishima and Katsuki, as they knew something about that group. Izuku, Jarvis activates the Hulkbuster, seeing the Nomu. Jarvis, right away, sir. Shigaraki, this is wrong, I didn't think that shitty squire's son was here. NOMU, kill him. Izuku, he's coming. Shoto, I'll take care of the villains, throwing himself into a fight. Katsuki, we'll go with the half-half. Kirishima, I'll go with you. Izuku, Jarvis, deploy it. In space, a Stark Industries satellite deployed a somewhat strangely shaped armor. At the USJ, Izuku was dodging the Nomu with his entire arsenal of skills, who to his surprise was a being without reasoning. It was like fighting an angry Hulk without thinking things through. Izuku, these movements. Shigaraki, no matter how hard you try, Captain Boy, Nomu was created to kill Almight. It has a strength quirk, a speed quirk, impact absorption and regeneration, and if that weren't enough, a blood sample from the green guy. Izuku, so Hulk DNA. Izuku began to dodge and hit the Nomu repeatedly, damaging it but regenerating. Shigaraki, seeing this, began to scratch himself like crazy. Shigaraki, we're wasting time with him. Nomu kills those students. The Nomu went out to do as requested while Aizawa and 13 stood in front of their students, but they didn't count on the arrival of an armor from the sky, which piece by piece was assembled in Aizawa. Aizawa, this is Jarvis, Mr. Eraserhead, This is the Hulkbuster Mark I designed by Izuku, so it is prepared to help you in this fight. Thus the Nomu and the improved Aizawa launched into a fight, causing the Nomu to retreat quite a bit. The armor managed to do so much damage that it impacted with force, weakening the impact absorption quirk and nullifying the regeneration quirk by leaving burn marks on the cuts. Ojiro, that's Aizawa-sensei. Tsuyu, it's great, Karo. Mineta, we're going to die touching Tsuyu's chest. Tsuyu, pervert, hitting him with her tongue. Jiro, and what will you say with his jacks pointing at Kaminari? Kaminari, they have the advantage, the villains are almost defeated. Kurojairi, Shigaraki, we must go. We didn't know that armor was a Hulk fighter. Shigaraki, no, never until I see Almight dead. At that Izuku and his group surround Shigaraki. Izuku, give up. Shigaraki, never, before I leave I'll kill you, launching himself to use his quirk on Izuku, but a bullet would stop them. Nizu, we're sorry for the delay, young people, but we couldn't find All Might, but that doesn't mean we won't help. Present Mike, OHYHHHHH. Giving a scream, stunning the villains. In that everyone sees how the Noma falls very exhausted and apparently dead. Aizawa, tell me what's going on. Jarvis, the creature's cells are dying due to gamma radiation. Aizawa, I see. After that Shigaraki would retreat with Kurojairi without giving Izuku a threat, while a late All Might would arrive on the scene. All Might, ha 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 ha, do not be afraid, do you know why? Because I am here. Almighty late. Chapter 8, Sports Festival Announcement and Class 1B Visit. Previously, All Might, ha 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 ha, don't be afraid. Do you know why? Because I'm here. All afternoon, All Might. At the moment, All Might, upon hearing that, was internally furious for having told him the obvious. He believed that everyone would applaud and be happy, but he hid it. Nizu, everyone is okay, right? Aizawa, it seems so. 13, that's right, how are you, Aizawa? Aizawa, good for now. And this armor is incredible, getting off the Hulkbuster with great laziness. Nizu, what an interesting armor. Aizawa, it's designed by one of my offspring, All Might. And who designed it? Then Izuku would arrive accompanied by Shoto, Katsuki and Kirishima. Izuku, some villains have already been apprehended, Director. Cement, do you know you are doing something illegal? 13, you have my permission to see Aizawa surrounded. Nizu, the best decision I ever made, I think. All Might, although it pains me to admit it, I also think the same, he said with venom and reluctantly. After that the students were taken to the UA while Nizu, accompanied by Naomasa Tsukachi, searched the place. Naomasa, are you sure? Nizu, that's right, Detective, they managed to warn and stop the Noma. Naomasa, he's already moving, the Nomu and his multiple quirks prove it, but, Nizu, Hulk's DNA only proves that someone outside of Japan is helping. Fortunately, they didn't know how to handle the radiation from that sample, but will it be the only one they have? Naomasa, I'm afraid so. Nizu, we'll investigate. And about the boys? Naomasa, within the police force I must show myself in favor of All Might, but despite my friendship with him, I am not blind to the things that the boys acted well. Nizu, they will be the best group of heroes. In room 1A, everyone was talking about what happened while laughing as if it were an anecdote to do so. But all that good vibe has to be cut by someone. Lita, damn Yankee, you're a traitorous bastard. I don't know how, but I'm sure you planned the invasion. Izuku, huh? Can you hear what you're saying, Lita? Lita, of course, you have to be really stupid not to see it. You're the only one who didn't disconnect from the outside, and you knew it would happen, you're a traitor. Izuku, so that's what you think? Tell me one thing, what would you do if you had my systems and a direct connection to UA to ask for help? Lita, what a question that is. It's obvious that I would use it to show off as the future number. Izuku, so that's what you want, huh? You're nothing more than a false hero. You only seek fame, women, and money. I wouldn't mind if you wanted to earn something to help your parents because that part would be noble. But you just want to be strong and for no one else to be. Lita, that's obvious, isn't it? At that moment, both of them were facing each other, while those closest to them stood on their sides and the others tried to stop the impending fight. Izuku's group, consisting of Shoto, Kirishima, Bakugo, and surprisingly Denki, was facing and preparing to face Lita's group, consisting of Mineta, Sato, and Momo Yaoyorozu. Kyoka, this is going to go wrong. Ojiro, please calm down. Tsuyu, let's not start a fight. Uraraka, we are friends, please stop. At that moment Aizawa would enter in the company of the director because on the way to the classroom, they heard the little mess that was happening, and Naomasa Tsukachi was also with them who had heard all the insults that the mini-ingenium hurled at the Rogers boy. Aizawa, if you don't want to be suspended or expelled, you better calm down. All yes, sensei. Lita could only glare at Izuku and his group while his group only felt uncomfortable or didn't care about the looks the blue-haired man gave them, since the others sided with Lita to prevent Cap's group from massacring him. Aizawa, well, now that you've calmed down, I'll give you the following notice. Since the school will be closed for a few specific days, 1 week, I'm letting you know that when you return, you'll have 3 days of class and training, since the sports festival is coming up. Everyone Cap's team. It's a normal school event. Kyoka, moment. Mina, will we be able to celebrate the event? Mineta, is it wise to do so after a villain attack? Ojiro, what if we get attacked? Izuku, I think it's prudent. The UA must show that despite an attack it is still solid, therefore they should reinforce security with professional heroes, right? Aizawa, that's right Rogers, what your partner tells you is true, the UA cannot be weakened by an attack. If we showed it, everyone would see that we are weak and confidence in the heroes would fall. Shoto, in addition to the fact that it is one of the most important events in Japan, since it replaces the Olympics, and that professional heroes will be there to show us. Aizawa, that's right, this week I'm just telling you not to slack off and give your all plus ultra. So the drug-addicted professor crawled into his sleeping bag. Izuku, we'll meet later Kirishima. Aizawa, Kirishima, Shoto, Rogers, Bakugo and Kaminari to the principal's office. Lita, lucky loser. So the 5 of them retreated to Nizu's office. Already in the office. Kaminari, director called us? Nizu, that's how young he is. Kirishima, what is needed? Izuku, they called Shinzo, right? Aizawa would only nod as the violet-haired boy entered through the door. Kaminari, we didn't do anything wrong, I think. Nizu, no young Kaminari, quite the opposite. At that, a large computer screen would turn on behind Nizu. Nick Fury, I want a breakdown of what happened at the USJ. Izuku, yes, Mr. Fury, what happened was an infiltration of the self-proclaimed League of Villains into the UA facilities. It was composed of a villain called Kurojiri in the form of humanoid smoke, with the ability to open portals plus a villain with many hands in his body, named Shigaraki Tamura. Nick, anything else? Shoto, yes, they were only in charge. It was as if they were carrying out a mission for the first time, added to the fact that they had recruited minor villains and had a creature called Nomu, which according to Jarvis' analysis possessed gamma energy and a bit of Hulk's DNA. Nick, pretty worrying, but nothing that impacts the mission. Is there more? Izuku, no sir. Nick, okay. Young Denki Kaminari, you're going to want to know why you're here, aren't you? Kaminari, yes. Nick, what you're seeing explaining the mission's needs, the Secret Warriors program plus the mission on the Almight theme, do you understand? Kaminari, yes, and of course I'm in. Nick, I leave everything in your hands, Izuku. Izuku, of course, director. The screen would turn off. Nizu, well? Izuku, what Naomasa talked about the Almight issue, because I doubt Toshinori was late due to his lack of time in his power due to that wound. Bakugo, what wound? Nizu, ahem. Izuku, Toshinori has a wound at a key point for the activation of his quirk, which causes him to overexert himself physically and his body cannot resist his quirk, which is why his time, although his appearance does not change, the constant use of his quirk damages his body. Everyone who didn't know about Ofei, oh that's why it's not around for long. Nizu, I know you hate him but please don't reveal that information, at least not for now, he thought nervously. Aizawa, whatever, retreat and discuss more members with Class B. Izuku and Todoroki would nod. Later at the Bakugo house, the 6 had arrived at the house, while Izuku received the call from his parents, confirming the attack and reassuring them that they were fine, and more so James, who almost cried at the thought that his older brother was dead. After the call from his parents, he was joined by his group of friends Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, Jake Banner, Doran Odinson, Francis Barton, who asked the typical questions, how many villains there are, how many of them got their asses kicked, and also meeting the new ones. So after that call and informing Kaminari so he doesn't feel offended by the selected ones. Izuku, well let's start with what we got. Shinzo, Itsuka Kendo, Quirk Big Fist. The use of her quirk allows Kendo to enlarge her hands to a gigantic size, increasing their strength. She is an energetic girl who is considerate of others. Izuku, From what I've heard, she's a martial arts fighter. Shoto, as Iron Fist. Katsuki, I say because of his ability inside, but not because of his gift. Kirishima, makes sense, but his gift must be important. Kaminari, I will be with you in whatever you decide. Izuku, she will be under observation but not being taken into account at the moment. We do not know her nor do we trust her yet. Shoto, let's continue. Kaminari, Yosetsu Aways, welding quirk, fuses objects at an atomic level. Izuku, it depends on his quirk. Kaminari, huh? Kirishima, he must have more melee skills than just welding with his quirk. Katsuki, no. Shoto, I agree. Kirishima, Nito Minoma, copy quirk, allows him to copy the gift of the person he touches, and if it depends on his quirk. Izuku, I say yes, it's something that can be improved. Shoto, there's something about him that gives me a bad feeling. Kaminari, I've seen it, he's too heavy with the whole class B being the best thing. Shinzo, I'm with Pikachu. Katsuki, Senkaibara, rotation quirk, can spin any part of his body as if it were a drill. He can be a quite capable combatant, and has great control over his quirk and some skill in hand-to-hand combat. All inside. Shoto, Ibra Shiozaki, religious fanatic notice, quirk vine, allows her to create extendable vines from her hair, with which she can attack and pick up objects. She is a very modest and courteous person who first makes clear her humility. Kaminari, I say it depends on her quirk, but inside she's pretty. Izuku, you sound like Francis. Shoto, and knowing him they're going to get along very well. Katsuki, I say inside slightly blushing, because he likes that girl. Izuku, Shirhai Kurwaro, black quirk, allows him to fuse his body into anything dark-colored, whether naturally dark or dark through external circumstances, such as shadows. He is also not a hand-to-hand combatant. Shoto, what a pain. Katsuki, this sounds like they want to specialize in just one area. Kaminari, like the hussy cats? Kirishima, I believe it. Izuku, we'll leave this here. Tomorrow we'll start using sparring to work on hand-to-hand combat, and it's not a request, it's an order. Everyone except Shoto, yes, Captain. Training, the moving shadows. We are at Dagoba Beach where Izuku and his new team were preparing to start their training. Previously Izuku, Katsuki and Shoto had been on the beach cleaning it and preparing a training place with the scrap, something rudimentary, but highly effective, taking out what could not be used. What could be recycled was used, ending up preparing a somewhat improvised ring, which was even used by visitors to the beach. Physical training areas, with improvised weights and dumbbells, and an area with boxing bags all made from scrap, that which could be reused. Izuku, apart from doing good for society, we built a good sparring place. Shoto, I agree. Katsuki, of course I was helping them. Kirishima, I had read that this beach was a garbage dump and they left it like that. Shinzo, there is no doubt that they will be good heroes. Kaminari, I just want to ask for some mercy. Izuku, you're going to have it. Kaminari, only you'll learn something physical rather than using your quirk. Unbeknownst to them, they were being watched by 3 people, a blonde adult, a red-haired child, and a red-haired woman. Steve, wow, I've taught you well, haven't I? Izuku, Dad hugging him. I thought they would arrive in a week. Kirishima, he's the captain. Nervous. Kaminari, I can't believe it. Katsuki, so they came, right? James, Shoto and I. Hello. Shoto, come on, flee hugging the child. Izuku, and there's no hug for me, little brother? You offended me. Feigning sadness. James, no. You're my big brother, my favorite, and my best friend. Izuku, I know, little one. Both hug each other. I missed you so much. Natasha, she missed you so much that she hardly slept. Izuku, hi Mom, hugging her. I'm glad to see you. Natasha, so they are the chosen ones, right? Shoto, the first. Steve, I see you were about to start training. Izuku, yes, since the sports festival is in 1 week, we had this week off to train. Steve, I'm glad about that. Shoto, I say you both fight a little. Izuku, we haven't trained together in a while, father. Steve, I don't know. Izuku, you're not a bit old, are you? Challenging him. Steve, let's see how you do accepting the challenge. They both put on muscle shirts and boxing gloves, preparing to face each other. Kirishima, oh my god, I never thought I'd see this. Both Caps are going to face each other. James, Caps? Shoto, nothing you don't want to hear, Mini Cap. James, hey, don't call me that, it's embarrassing. Blushing with embarrassment. In the ring. Izuku, ready, father? Steve, let's see how much you've improved. Both engaged in a boxing match, throwing punches and blocking the ones they could. Both were very evenly matched, and despite Cap's experience, his son matched his experience, with his intellect, strength and reflexes, both ending with a blow to the jaw at the same time. Steve, I'm proud of how strong you're getting. Izuku, thanks pa, extending his hand. Good fight. Steve reciprocated the gesture. Kirishima, this is so manly, crying manly. Katsuki, they are on par. Shoto, looks like Steve will have to retire and give up his position to Cap. Steve, okay. Kaminari pointing at the blonde, Katsuki pointing at the Muslim, Shinzo pointing at the purple-haired mini, Aizawa, Kirishima pointing at the shark. I'll help you train in hand-to-hand combat. But first I want you to take a jog on the beach to warm up. Then I want you to do a series of sit-ups, push-ups and squats to strengthen your body, and after that, we'll see the fight. The aforementioned HAI. Thus they began to be trained by Cap himself, where Kirishima cried with happiness for such a manly teacher. Natasha, Izuku, Shoto, someone wants to see you. Who am I? Covering Shoto's eyes. Shoto, Brainiac Morgan. Izuku, nice to see you, Morgan. Morgan, the trio reunited again. Shoto, I believe it. Morgan, are you going to train? Izuku, we wanted to train them, but if you're here. Morgan, we need to talk seriously. We move from place to place. Sir Nitai's agency. We can see All Might enter the agency somewhat annoyed, since the hero of the prophecy had summoned his muscular friend to talk. All Might, sir? Where are you, sir? Come in, All Might, and deflate inside, opening the door to his office. The blonde passed by and took the form of a skeleton in Sir's office. Sir, what a surprise that you arrived so quickly. I thought you would be teaching at UA. All Might, the students were given the week for the festival. Sir, I see. All Might, I also came here to ask you something. Sir, tell me. All Might, Roger's son is at UA. Sir, Captain America's son? All Might, yes, this can complicate everything. Sir, I don't think he will. You should try to add him to our side. If he joins us, even the Avengers could be in our power. All Might, it's not that simple. Sir, what do you mean? All Might, his values, those of his father, were strongly transmitted. His heroism, tenacity, courage, in addition to his intellect, which I must admit is a genius compared to Director Nizu, it is not easy to corrupt him. Sir, what are you implying? All Might, in the test I did of heroes versus villains, the boy moved as if he already had experience. At first I thought I was hallucinating, but then it came to my mind that he could be an infiltrator. I don't think that AFO until now with the USJ thing knows about him, but if he finds out about it. Sir, do you think he's a SHIELD infiltrator? That's bad for you and AFO. Only AFO will see it as more likely, since he'll have to seek support from Norman Osborn or Victor Von Doom, and you know the former will only help if the Spider is involved, and the latter won't do it for free. All Might, I know. Sir, anyway, you must find a way for the boy to join us. Without the Avengers, we will be able to control the world and have the top expanded into it. All Might, I'll try, but I don't think I'll make it. He's heavily trained and avoids me at all costs. It's like I'm. Sir, you think he could be your son, right? All Might. Their names match, but damn, it can't be true, hitting the wall. Sir, if it's him, you should try to fix things. Bring him to our side. The OFA was passed on at its conception. If you get it, it will be enhanced with the super soldier serum, so he could pass it on to Mirio. All Might, I'll try. Now I know why he avoids me. He's my former son. I should have realized. If Enji's former son was there, he must be with the boy. Sir, proceed with caution. All Might, I will. All Might would leave the place. Sir, if this happens, I'll have to go with Overhaul and speed up the development of the anti-quirk bullets retreating. On Kamino, Shigaraki had been taken by Kurogiri to treat his wounds as he began to scream and scratch like crazy. Shigaraki, sensei, you lied. The Nomu wasn't that strong. AFO, no, I didn't. And tell me, how is the Nomu, that we put so much effort into facing the symbol of peace? Shigaraki, he's dead. Gamma radiation killed him, and he didn't even fight All Might. AFO, and who am I fighting against? Shigaraki, against Eraserhead. AFO, it's not very strong if you asked me. Kurogiri, sensei, if I may, the villains were defeated by 4 young people, 2 of them were striking. AFO, who? Shigaraki, a clown with a Yankee shield and symbol +1 dressed as a panther. Kurogiri, refers to someone with the Captain America logo, and a young Wakandan, wearing the Black Panther costume. AFO, this is serious. How did they beat the Nomo? Shigaraki, they called one of those anti-Hulk armors and assembled it with Hiri's head. AFO, move cautiously, gather the elite, take all the time you need. Almight doesn't know, but there are 2 possibly children of Avengers in UA. S.H.I.E.L.D. is involved in this, which complicates the plans. Shigaraki, yes, sensei. Kurojiri, I'll tell Jiren to look for villains. The transmission is cut off. Shigaraki, what was missing? First Almight and now those Avengers. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. With AFO. AFO, maybe I should talk to Norman. Our past business dealings have helped, and I doubt Shigaraki can handle Cap's son. He's not the spider, but better safe than sorry. Back to Dagoba Beach. After talking with Shoto and Morgan and preparing for an imminent incursion by Norman Osborn in Japan, Izuku prepared for any eventuality. So when he saw his companions training hard in hand-to-hand combat with his father, since the talk lasted about 2 hours, Izuku joined in training in hand-to-hand combat with his best friend Shoto, and began to prepare for what was coming. They trained like this for a whole week, so we found ourselves at the UA Stadium, where Class 1A was talking among themselves while Lita sent looks of hatred, superiority and challenge towards Izuku, who ignored him. Mina, Mohai wanted to wear my heroine costume. Ojiro, they do it so as not to give us an extra advantage over the other classes. Lita, hey stupid Yankee. Izuku, what do you want, Lita? Lita, I'm going to humiliate you and beat you so much at this festival that I'll make even your parents nauseous. I'm stronger than you, don't forget that. And I hope your classmates don't cross me because the same thing will happen to them. At that, Lita left. Shoto, what's wrong with this one? Katsuki, I have no idea. I think the extra got the urge to fight or something. In that you hear the words of Present Mike. Present Mike, yeah. Everyone, welcome to this year's youth round. This is the UA Sports Festival. Sports Festival. Previously. Present Mike, yeah. Welcome to this year's youth round. This is the UA Sports Festival. At the moment, people started to cheer. In the stands, Peter, how kind of Izuku to invite us. Gwen, yes, you're right. Jake, let's see who he chose to. Though run, I hope Shoto shines. Morgan, yeah, this will be interesting. Henry, if they know that those 2 aren't going to fight seriously, right? Character sheet. Name, Henry Pym Jr. Age, 12 years. Alias, Wasp. Parents, and Man and the Wasp. Francis, I know that those 2 will be in the first 2 places. Kamala, come on, this will be fun. Jordan, I hope they make me money with a betting slip. Morgan, sometimes you're worse than Dad, bro. Jordan, I know you love me, there's a reason we're twins. Morgan, why do you have to be such an idiot sometimes? Face palming. Steve, they should be showing up soon, so calm down and enjoy this vacation. Natasha, it will be out soon. James, I want it to start now and see my brother win. Peter, they don't have a feeling that Bakugo will do something to joke with Izuku. Gwen, yes, I have it. With Present Mike. Present Mike, here with me, animating these rounds, the Caterpillar Man. Say hello, colleague. Aizawa, you forced me to come with his caterpillar mode. Present Mike, how boring. But let's put that aside, it's time to introduce them. They have withstood an attack by villains and have survived, willing to give their everything, and show that they are here, with you, Class 1A. The audience started to cheer, as they passed by, being applauded by everyone while Shoto and Katsuki looked at each other with a smile, which was good. Flashback. Shoto, so what do you want? Katsuki, I don't know what to say. They told me that since I was the one with the highest score I should speak, and I don't know what to say. Besides, if I say something the extras are going to get upset. Shoto, and why don't you give it up? Katsuki, you're thinking the same thing as me. Both, let the Cap speak. End of flashback. Present Mike, and after them, also from the heroic courses, Class 1B, those mentioned were looking seriously at those in Class A after them, the general classes, courses C, D, Y, along with the support courses, classes F, G, YH, and after them, management courses, classes I, J, and K. The entire audience would applaud the new entrants. Present Mike, and of course, livening up this first-year festival, the class our heroine, Midnight. The aforementioned was on stage with a whip in hand in a sensual and provocative pose. Kirishima, sensei who uses blushing. Kaminari, that's our class red. Mineta, UA is the best. In the stands, Peter, Francis, Jake, and Jordan blushed, while Francis and Jordan got nosebleeds. Natasha covered James's eyes to keep from corrupting his innocent mind, and the other teammates beat up their idiot teammates. In the sand, midnight. Well, it's time for the player's speech. Pass young Bakugo Katsuki. The aforementioned passed in front of everyone while everyone said he was the best because of the entrance exam. Katsuki, I don't know what to say, just that I'll give the floor to a friend. Hey Cap, come in and give the speech. Izuku, me pointing at himself. Katsuki, yes you. Shoto, cheer up Cap. Kurishima, be a man and get on board. Shinzo, what are you waiting for, Cap? Midnight, there is youth, I approve. Izuku started to move towards the stage. In the stands, Peter, when extending his hand, pay. Francis, here giving him $10. Gwen, they're idiots. Back to the arena. Izuku had gone up on stage and taken the microphone, while everyone watched him expectantly because of the nickname Bakugo used with him. Izuku, well, I'm just going to say let's go all out. Let's not hold anything back. Let's go beyond the limits plus ultra. All plus ULTRAA. James, plus ultra. With stars in his eyes. Midnight, okay, it's time for the first test. It's time for the wheel to spin and determine the challenge. The wheel started spinning and stopped on an obstacle course. It's time for everyone to get ready. All the students went to prepare to go out and run while Izuku and Shota looked defiant and Bakugo started with his Muslim character so that he wouldn't be excluded from the competition. Present mic. Ready. Go. Everyone started running and getting out of the bottleneck, while Izuku and Todoroki ran between them all at their top speed, leaving everyone behind. Bakugo, ah no, that's not it, rising with his explosions. Kasahima, they won't leave me behind. Class 1A, not even us. Lita, you bastards won't leave me behind. They ran like this for 5 minutes until they reached an area. Present mic, if you thought the race was simple, you thought wrong. Welcome to the first stage of Robo Inferno. Izuku and Todoroki were grateful at that moment that they were allowed to use a Wakandan shield on the redhead and the vibranium claw gloves. So both seeing that everyone stopped and that Bakugo was rising to pass over as 0 points, they both ran jumping between several robots, so that Izuku with his agility and mastery in combat hit 2 robots with the shield. Todoroki, for his part, used his claws, and when he accumulated vibration in them, he jumped and hit the ground, giving a pulse, destroying 6 robots in his path. In the stands, Chala, that wasn't it. Steve, Wakanda in the battle against Thanos. Natasha, both of them copied that run in that battle just by seeing it smiling. James and Isan is the best. Back on track. The contestants were racing to reach the next obstacle, one by one, a cliff with several platforms connected by cables. Present mic, if the previous test wasn't enough, how about the fall? Izuku and Shoto started jumping on every platform they found, while the others followed them and the support department showed off with Mei Hatsum. In the stands, Morgan, it has potential, thinking of making inventions with it. Jordan, crazy. In the race, the contestants continued running until they reached the last obstacle, a minefield, which with great care began to be crossed by several, except for Izuku and Shoto, who as they ran left a trail of pink smoke in their wake, to end up passing the field and return to compete. Head to head, both did not want to give ground to the other, to end up Shoto receiving an explosion from Bakugo causing Izuku to take the lead. Bakugo, nerd, you're not going to go in front of me. Izuku, sorry Kaken. At the finish line, the first to arrive while everyone waits expectantly for the situation. Present mic, and the winner of this round is Rogers Izuku. The audience at that moment fell into a deep silence while several began to applaud and shout euphorically. The civilians began to stand up and shout as if there was no tomorrow. With the heroes the situation was not the same. Some just snorted annoyed, others shouted to boo him. But the civilians were more, and those who listened to their heroes were annoyed. Steve saw this and assumed it was because of Captain America, who, being considered quirkless, the Japanese heroes said he was a threat. Of course not all of them, since heroes like Fat, Hirizer, Ryukyu, even Mirko wanted to work and learn from him. The heroes' boos increased when they saw the white-haired boy enter as second place, followed by Bakugo until reaching the 42 students who would continue in the competition. Present mic, OHYAHHHH. This year has been really exciting. It's time for a 30-minute break and we will continue with. The roulette wheel started to spin and stopped at a point. Present mic, Battle Royal. So the students retired to rest, eat something. But an event that no one expected happened in the corridors of the stadium. Izuku and Shoto were walking through them in the direction of the food stalls, while their team in UA and in the United States approached them to accompany them when, "Hey, Shoto, of all the possibilities, he has to be here," he whispered, annoyed, being heard by his best friend. Izuku, Endeavor surprised and serious. "Endeavor, it was a good race, congratulations, especially you, Shoto, kid." "Shoto, I'll stop you there. As far as I'm concerned, you're not my father. You used me as a tool, and I walked away from you, from your ridiculous shitty goal. If I'm here, it's for me, not for you. Mom is safe from the traumas you could have given her, as are my brothers. Let's go. I don't want to see him." At that, the group leaves, accompanying their friend. "Endeavor, sooner or later you will be my successor, Shoto." Battle Royal. Previously. "Endeavor, sooner or later you'll be my weapon, Shoto." At the moment, Izuku and Shoto were heading towards the Class A cabin, as the encounter with his hateful father made the dyed white-haired boy lose his appetite. Izuku calmed down. "Shoto, it's easy for you to say, you got used to seeing your old man in every class." "Izuku, I hold back since you know that's exactly what I want to do to the bastard, and it's not easy. It's like asking Kakin to stop being a Muslim." "Katsuki, who are you calling Muslim, damn nerd?" the ash-haired boy growled as he entered the cabin. "Kirishima, we heard everything and came." "Shinzo, I'm not from the class, but I will support my friends." "Kaminari, count on us, old man." "Shoto, thank you." "Izuku, thanks. And well, it's a battle royal, what do you want to do?" "Shinzo, take out the others since I want to fight you 1 versus 1. "Shoto, looks like we should team up." "Izuku, what do they say?" "Katsuki, yeah, whatever." "Kirishima, I'm in, bro." That's when the speakers would be heard. "Present mic. All students get ready for the next round starting in 5 minutes. Time jump 5 minutes. All 42 students were there on the platform waiting. Present mic. Everyone ready for this second stage. The audience began to cheer. Midnight. Get ready for this battle royal. The 42 students will be face to face, knocking each other out of the delimited area. If they knock you out, you lose. Killing is prohibited, now until 8 participants remain. Present mic. Are you ready? The Izuku squad formed as a team ready to fight, surprising several and bringing an imperceptible smile to Aizawa Gio. Several of them threw themselves at 2 main victims, Shoto and Izuku. If they were defeated, then they could claim that the Avengers were not as strong as they said, and that defeating their children would bring them fame and glory. In the stands, Peter, several are idiots. Morgan, you already said it. Though run, I would stab them with my sword if it had no human consequences. Henry, they're a pair of jerks and morons. Now I understand why they imposed the top heroes here. Jake, at least Fury with his influence didn't let them put them in our home. Gwen, they move as a team. Looking at the Izuku squad, it seems we will have new members. Francis, we'll see that soon. Seriously, they will choose which side they are on. Jordan, traitor protocol, right? Francis and Morgan nod. That will determine if they are in our favor. If they support them, they will be welcome. Steve, they're doing well. James, my brother is the best. From the sand it was heard. Izuku, I love you too, little brother. Women, AWWWWWW. Natasha, you see that you love yourself. On the other side. Nizu, they are doing well, and despite being from Class A and him from a general class, they behave as a team. 13, you're right, they are amazing. Power Loader, they'll be amazing as pros. Vlad, they are incredible. Annoyed. In the arena, Izuku and Shoto fought side by side, while Katsuki and Shinzo held off several others, and Kirishima threw Kaminari into a group of general class members. Kirishima, Kaminari, I choose you, throwing the defective Pikachu. The students were electrocuted when they crashed into Kaminari. Kaminari, what a great throw. Katsuki, and how do you feel, Pikachu? Shinzo, that must hurt. Kaminari, nah, I'm Joya. Izuku, I understood those references. Shoto, PJJ Jajajajajajajajajaja, you are just like your dad in that Jajajajajajajajaja. Those words caused a twitch in the redhead's eye. In the stands, Steve just smiled amusedly, while Natasha was just trying to hide a laugh. With their friends it was a different story. Jake, Peter, Francis and Jordan, haha, Henry, and then they say I'm the retarded one for making jokes. Gwen, Thoran, Morgan, men. In the arena, Rubio, we must get them out. Beast, Monoma, are you sure? Monoma, of course, we must remove those from Class A and the extra from the generals to secure Class B. Kamakiri, Kurwaro, we go against them. Tetsu and Shishuda come. The 5 of them threw themselves against Izuku's team, being received and left out of combat with the exception of Tetsu. with the rest of Class 1A. Lita was moving the students out of general classes, support classes, and business classes so that only those who were capable of giving them a fight remained. Minato was left out by an onslaught from Shishida, while Tokoimi was leaving out along with Zero and Mina several students from Class 1B and general courses. Uraraka had left out Ahoyama and Momo, while Tsuyu left out some of the general classes. In the stands, Peter, Gravity Girl looks good. Francis, that one with the elbows seems like he'll beat the spiders ha 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 that caused the tick in Peter and Gwen. Doran, that bleached blonde who thinks she is looking at Monoma. Jake, I hope Izuku sees some outside. With the parents. Chala, they're not doing too badly. Baku, the boy is skilled, we trained him well. The Jabari present at that start to scream. All the spectators began to see that breath while in the arena Shoto made a gesture that the Wakandans present imitated. Chala, Wakanda forever. Wakandans plus Shoto, Wakanda forever. In the arena, Izuku, they really showed off. Shoto, hee hee. Tetsu, that was the manliest thing I've ever seen. Kirishima, that was so manly. Both metapods look. Both, bro giving each other a manly hug. Present Mike, that was a great show of support, wasn't it, buddy? Aizawa, it's rational, he said in a bored tone. Present Mike, what a party pooper, Aizawa boy. Aizawa, you forced me to come. In the arena, Izuku, I want to do it, hee hee. Shoto, oh man, that's why we need the rest. In the stands, Steve, I know well what they want to do, getting an idea. Peter, do we jump into doing the scene as a team and costumes? Henry, I support you. Francis, I have nothing to lose. Jake and Jordan, count us in. Gwen, you two idiots aren't going to do anything. Thoran, oh by Grandpa's beard, it looked funny. Morgan, they never change. In the arena, Izuku, it had to be Gwen. Shoto, she's a killjoy. Katsuki, and what did you have in mind to do? Throwing an explosion, shine bucking extras. Kirishima, definitely something super manly. Shinzo, talk. Kaminari, yes, they speak. Izuku, scream Avengers assemble. Kirishima, that was the manliest thing I've ever wanted to do, in that you would hear the voice of Present Mike. Present Mike, time over. Time has ended for this event, and those remaining in the race are Izuku Rogers, Shoto of Wakanda, Katsuki Bakugo, Kirishima Aijiro, Tetsu, Denki Kaminari, Hitoshi Shinzo, Lita Tenya. The audience began to applaud those who remained after several minutes, around 20, that the battle royal lasted. Midnight. It's time for the fights, please watch the screen. 1 Izuku Rogers vs Tenya Lita. 2 Denki Kaminari vs Hitoshi Shinzo. 3 Kirishima Aijiro vs Katsuki Bakugo. 4 Tetsu vs Shoto from Wakanda. Midnight. And if it were new, the director, in order not to leave out the female audience, authorizes some girls to participate. See for yourself. Meihatsu Mitsuka Kendo Ibra Shiozaki Momo Yayorozu Uraraka Ochako Tsuyu Ajui Poni Tsunitori Mina Ashido. The women began to cheer. Midnight, and for the women's round it will be 1 Uraraka Ochako vs Meihatsu, 2 Itsuka Kendo vs Momo Yayorozu, 3 Ibra Shiozaki vs Poni Tsunitori, 4 Tsuyu Ajui vs Mina Ashido, 1 vs 1 fights. Well, it's been quite a while since I posted a chapter on this story. Let's get started. After posting the fight lists on the screen, they would begin with the women's battles, where the fights of the future Secret Warriors members ended up demonstrating their supremacy. Results: Uraraka Ochako vs Meihatsu. Winner Uraraka. The Machi won because the pink-haired girl used her as a model for her babies to surrender later, which gained the attention of Morgan Stark. Itsuka Kendo vs Momo Yayorozu. Winner Momo Yayorozu. Because against an unarmed martial artist the vice president of Class 1A won using weapons, while the black-haired girl kept an arrogant smile on her face. Ibara Shiozaki vs Poni Tsunitori. Ibara winner for pinning Pony. Tsuyu Azui vs Mina Ashido. Tie. The frog and the pink alien were left out of the ring at the same time, both of them being left out. The final was a 1 vs 1 fight, a battle which proved to be intense. But it was not enough to encourage the public, or so it was believed, when the movie face showed what she was made of. Some time ago she trained martial arts with Gahead, where she showed her superiority, defeating her opponents. But at a whim of Yayorozu and for fear of losing money, Nizu was forced to give the first female place to Yayorozu. In the stands, Thoran, by Odin's beard standing annoyed that fight was won by the brown-haired girl. Gwen, I'll grant it to you angry. The men present around him were hugging each other in fear. In the stands, Almight, Now let's see how you molded him, bastard. Endeavor. So your brat is near. Almight. Like yours, the worst of all. Endeavor. The boy Rogers and my son Panther, he said with annoyance. At least getting him back is having the super soldier serum and Almight, vibranium, haha. That was heard by Ojiro, Tetsu, and surprisingly by Shinzo. Ojiro, Rogers is All Might's son, he thought with surprise. Tetsu, that's not for men, annoyed he thought. Shinzo, these guys are up to serious things, it would be better to warn them, he thought before leaving. In the arena, present mic, everyone say why. The audience, why, present mic, it's time to see the fights you've been waiting for the most. On this side, the student who stands out the most, his courage, his determination, his instilled values, the successor of the shield hero, is more patriotic than the patriot hero himself. He is Rogers Izuku. Note: imagine him with red hair wearing the UA tracksuit. The audience began to cheer while the heroes who didn't like the dyed one booed him, while the noise in favor of the freckled one was the most prominent. While All Might and Endeavor snorted in annoyance, and at Sir Nightie's agency, he looked seriously at the screen. Present Mike, from this other one, the heir of the Turbo family, the younger brother of Ingenium, seems more robot than human. Welcome Ida Tenya. In the stands, Hero 1, crush the Yankee. Heroine 1, crushes the American. Hero 2, killed that Quirkless. Heroine 2, oh what a shame, the American was very handsome. In the arena, Ida, it's still time to give up. Izuku, go ahead for me. Ida, you are stubborn, but without your shield you are nothing. Izuku, do you want to try? Ida, how many more will fight for first place? Midnight begin. Ida launched himself with his propellants, kicking and punching, while the green-haired man blocked everything and hit points that made the speedster retreat and suffer from pain. Ida, rubbing his arms. Izuku, I'll wait for you in hand-to-hand fighting pose. Ida launched himself again, but this time Izuku didn't give him any time to respond. Izuku, where did that pride go? Where did it go that without a shield I'm nothing? Hitting Ida with kickboxing and boxing. Ida couldn't stand the beating he received, leaving him unconscious with 3 missing teeth and a leg fractured in 3 places. Midnight, the winner is Izuku Rogers. The audience would begin to applaud the green-haired man. Thus they would begin to applaud while the green-haired man retreats to another place. The following fights were quick, as Kaminari answered Shinzo, who won the fight easily, leaving a good candidate for Secret Warriors. Bakugo won with great difficulty because Kirishima trained a lot with Izuku's father in hand-to-hand combat. The next fight was quite even, but Shoto proved to be the successor to the Black Panther. Sports Festival Final. After the first stage of 1 vs 1 men's fights, people were eager for more battles. With the Secret Warriors. Peter, oh, did you see that cosmic grape in the 4 eyes? Francis, what did you expect? Spider, they are from the Ida family. His brother is Ingenium and he thinks he is a big believer in believing that his brother is going to defend him. Henry, yes, but this is getting more interesting. Gwen, are you talking about Izuku or Shoto going to face the Muslim? Thoran, oh by Grandpa's beard, cheer up sister from another mother, it will be a good fight. Morgan, that May Hatsum has earned my interest. Jake, something's going to go wrong. Morgan, why do you say that? Kamala, what happens if you put 2 crazy inventors together? At that moment you hear Jason running away. Jason, it's all over, gentlemen, we have no escape. Morgan, stupid pubescent, I finally understand that Dad leaves the company to me. I have a brain. With families. Natasha, looks like he couldn't hold back. James, that was amazing. Steve, it seems that way, and it's obvious that they don't like each other at all. Chala, the fights were interesting. Shuri, I want that pink-haired girl working with me. Okoye, have a crazy lover of exploding her babies? Baku, the end of Wakanda will be possible with that duo joke the white gorilla leader. With the students, we can see a room where Izuku and Shoto were called by Tetsu, Ojiro and Shinzo, while Bakugo and Kirishima were present. Izuku, what happened? Ojiro, I'll be direct, you are All Might's son. Izuku, yes, I am the son of that bastard. Tetsu, that explains what we heard. Shinzo, I want you to know this. The 3 of them narrated Endeavor and All Might's entire plan in great detail, while Izuku and Shoto listened to everything seriously. Izuku, I appreciate the gesture. Shoto, me too. Bakugo, anyway, we have to return to the arena. In the sand, present Mike. Well, dear audience, it's time to follow this festival. The audience starts to get excited since there are 4 semi-finalists. It's time for the roulette wheel to spin. Midnight would spin to choose the fights until it stops on 2 names. Well, dear audience, the fighters will be Roger Izuku. The stands get excited, less corrupt heroes who are booing, and on this side, the copy of my colleague Aizawa, Hitoshi Shinzo. They both walked into the arena staring at each other as Midnight watched them both. Midnight ready? Both would nod, start waving their whip. Shinzo, come on, Cap, don't you want to give a speech? Izuku shook his head as he approached. Shinzo, it seems you lack hatred. Izuku, in the stands. Natasha, there's no covering Steve. In the box. Kirishima, Izaburo, Bakugo, damn nerd, if you lose I'll shine you. In the arena. Izuku, I understood the reference, rolling his eyes. Shinzo, you fell, now get off the platform, holding back the urge to laugh. Izuku would begin to leave the platform until he saw the remains of the ancient carriers. He knew one of them very well, because since his childhood she always took care of him from the core of the Ofa as if it were a grandmother. Nana, Aizachan, cheer up, smile, and win this fight. Izuku, Nana Bachan. As if by magic, Izuku would return to reality while jumping against Shinzo, pushing him with 15% of the OFA without attracting attention, leaving him outside the ring. Midnight, the winner is Present Mike, Izuku Rogers. The stands went wild as Toshinori sensed the presence of 7 people there, one of whom was looking at him with great disappointment and fury. This might have gone unnoticed by him, but, Sir Agency, sir, so he has one for all, that's why All Might is weakened, but how it was transferred, that is a doubt, not to be, but that would be impossible. Quirks do not have their own consciousness to transfer to another carrier. At the UA Arena, after the fight, Present Mike introduced Bakugo and Shoto, where they fought with everything: martial arts, the panther spirit, ice, explosions, and fire. Ignore the winner, where the ash-haired boy was very exhausted in a fairly even fight, until he fell to the ground face down unconscious. Present Mike. The winner of this round is Shoto from Wakanda. In the stands, the members of Wakanda crossed their arms while the bicolor did the same. Baka and the White Gorillas, Chala Yimbabe, Wakanda plus Shoto. Present Mike, how's that support, dear audience? It seems the people of Wakanda are celebrating their representative. Well, while we repair the arena, you'll have a 15-minute break. Cementos will fix the arena. Cement, do I look like a cement mixer? Present Mike, not a mixer, but a cement mixer. The public, with the director, the rodent beloved by everyone in his own classroom next to a bald African American with an eye patch. Director, in that case I can let you know. Fury, no, the file Stain has given us on the Yakuza indicate that he has heroes like Sir Night Eye as allies. That makes the heroes unreliable. Nizu, but if that operation goes as suggested, it wouldn't be heroic in the eyes of society. Fury, we both know, Nizu, that since the licenses were implemented the word hero lost its meaning. Nizu, I know. Fury, with that said I suggest you activate the team on a stealth rescue mission. Nizu, I will do so. The transmission would cut out while Nizu was looking at Team X's folios for the moment. File 1. Name, Izuku Rogers. Alias, Captain America 2. Quirk, 1 for all plus former wielder quirks. Float plus black whips plus hazard sensor plus smoke screen plus gearshift. Bonus. Super Soldier Serum plus Spying Skills plus Computer Hacking plus Expert Martial Artist. Author's explanatory note. Gearshift, Hensaku II user's quirk. This quirk allows Izuku to change the speed and or velocity of any target he touches, including himself. This allows him to greatly accelerate his own and or his target's speed, and increase the impact force of his own blows. File 2. Name, Shoto Todoroki of Wakanda. Alias, Black Panther 2. Dawn, half cold, half hot. Additional, Black Panther Spirit plus Stealth plus Martial Arts plus Vibranium Weapon Handling. File 3. Name, Hitoshi Shinzo. Alias, does not possess. Gift, Brainwashing. Additional, unknown. File 4. Name, Kirishima Ijiro. Alias, does not possess. Gift, Hardening. Additional, unknown. Nizu, interesting. Young Shoto and Rogers are key, as they both have experience. I'll have to talk to them. Their internships will be after the festival, so I'll talk to Gran Torino about this. In the arena, Present Mike, everyone say why. The audience would start to applaud. Midnight, introduce them at once. Present Mike, it's time for a clash of Avengers heirs. On this side the heir of the Black Panther, Shoto of Wakanda. Wakandans, Wakanda Forever. White Gorilla. Todoroki entered doing the Wakanda Forever pose while the children in the stadium screamed with excitement. Present Mike. On this side, the father's heir, his will and strength come with him, and not only that, but heir to his incredible legacy with you, the new Captain America, Izuku Rogers. Izuku, for his part, would enter the stadium while the children made a military pose next to his younger brother, and the dyed redhead entered with the characteristic shield. Midnight ready? Both nod begin. Izuku would throw his shield, which would be dodged by the bicolor, so it would go against the wall of the stadium, returning to the green-haired man. But he would not arrive in time because both opponents would be giving it their all in a hand-to-hand fight until both would tear off their shirts. Todoroki, not bad Cap. The single and needy women, plus the UA classmates, had hemorrhages when they saw the bicolor eating it with lustful looks. Izuku, not bad Panther, wiping some sweat. Both would throw themselves into a fist fight again, giving it their all, using every martial art they knew. Both were bruised from all the blows they received as they began to use their quirks to increase the damage on contact, ending with Shoto with a broken arm and Izuku with a fire fist in his right pectoral as a scar, while both were seen panting, until they both fell unconscious at the same time. Midnight, it's a tie. The heroines, what time do they go for bread? The heroes, Inglorious Bastard. Chala, good fight Cap. Steve, no doubt about it. James, that was amazing. Peter, what's up? They'll run. They were left dumbfounded. Gwen, Morgan, Kamala, as well as the other teenagers their age, were blushing, with silly looks and threads of blood coming out of their noses. Francis, we lost them. Peter, yep. Henry, what will we do? They'll run, no idea. Jake, wait for them to wake up and the award ceremony. Ares rescue. After the final fight, Shoto and Izuku were unconscious for 12 hours, deciding not to give them their medals at the sports festival. Because of this, Steve, Natasha, and Chala were in the infirmary watching over the boys alongside Aizawa, Nizu, and the secret warriors of Japan. Steve, they fought well. Natasha, yes. Nizu, without a doubt. Aizawa, troublesome offspring. Kirishima, it was the coolest fight. Shinzo, without a doubt. But all talk must end with the arrival of undesirables. Steve, Toshinori, Almight, Rogers. They were both face to face. Chala, Enji, Endeavor, Black. Hawks, hello, eating fried chicken. Natasha, what are you doing here? Hawks, they wanted to see that duo. I just came to see the plot in a very carefree way, to think, and see how much they can destroy themselves by orders of the Commission. Aizawa, something is wrong. The Commission is even encouraging a direct confrontation in the streets. That ends in a civil war. We must move carefully. He thought seriously. All Might, I want my son back. Izuku, your son? I'm not your son, you old shit. All Might, you have my blood, Izuku, and Izuku, you say it and I'll break everything so that not even AFO will recognize you, and that damn wound on your side will be the same or worse. All Might, don't threaten me like you're just some brat. I'm your father, and you respect me trying to correct him. Izuku would take the arm with which he would be hit and bend it, putting it on his back and on one knee to the peace symbol. Izuku, I endured your abuse for 3 years. No more Yagi. You don't even deserve to be a hero, much less be human, since you are a monster. Endeavor, let go or I will send you to Tartaros. Nizu, under what charges? Hawks, they lose if they lock up the Cap's son. The Commission knows that S.H.I.E.L.D. supports them and will expose all the secrets if they just send him to Tartarus, he thought with humor. Endeavor, yes, Shoto, if you do, I'll bring out everything you do with the Yakuza and HYDRA. All Might tensed up. You know what? It was his doubts. He can't be with them without scratching his ass without the others finding out. Kirishima, Ojiro options. Ojiro, 95% sure there's going to be a mess. Shinzo, and the other 5%. Ojiro, both Caps will rain blows. Nizu, we better calm down and leave. Endeavor, TSK, I'm leaving because I want to and not because I'm threatened. All Might would sigh in relief being noticed by Shoto and Izuku, so they just waited for orders, while the blonde calmly retreated while his eyes looked back with distrust while the secret warriors looked at him seriously. For 7 minutes All Might made gestures of leaving until he finally left due to Shinzo's brainwashing. Nizu, okay, now we can talk. Izuku, what does director want to do? Nizu, a commission from Fury. Shoto, we are ready. Nizu, this is Eri handing out a photo to everyone. Izuku, who is she? Nizu, she is the granddaughter of the former leader of the Shai Hasaikai, She is currently tutored by Kai Chizaki, alias Overhaul. Her quirk is Rewind. It allows the girl to revert the body of a living individual to a previous state, allowing her to heal injuries and undo body modifications. She has even demonstrated the ability to rewind the bodies of living beings to a point before they existed. Shoto, why do I feel like she's not as happy as we assumed despite being the granddaughter of a mobster? Aizawa, it's because she's being used as a guinea pig. Kirishima, using children like that isn't manly. Shinzo, guinea pig? Nizu, on Sir Nightai's orders, a bullet was created from the girl's genetic material that would eliminate people's gifts. The plan is to nullify anyone who might rise up against All Might and Sir Izuku. I guess we'll do this as a mission. Nizu, that's right. Kirishima Ijiro, Shinzo Hitoshi, it will be your first mission as agents. Ojiro, but what about the licenses? Aizawa, we'll do this illegally, so we select those who won't do anything reckless. Looking at Bakugo. Bakugo, what about me? Izuku, no offense, buddy, but you'd be making explosions everywhere shouting Allah Ahu Akbar. Bakugo, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Shine. Aizawa, have your camouflage uniforms, they leave in 2 hours. The aforementioned withdrew. Nizu, you are prohibited from informing the rest. Kaminari, Ojiro and Bakugo. The aforementioned would nod. 2-hour time skip. Nizu, where will they be? They will come. Izuku, so you're here. Legolas appearing with his suit and new haircut. Ha ha ha, how funny. Cap shaking hands with Izuku. Izuku, long time no see. Francis. Francis, yes. Shoto, I see the archer is accompanying us, entering dressed as a Black Panther. Francis, the old man ordered me to come, so here I am. Kirishima, this will be manly, showing off his new suit. Shinzo, I look like Aizawa entering. Shoto, if I had continued with my fetish, I would have told you 5 theories that you are his son. Nizu, okay, the 5 of them are here, go for her. The 5 would head to the designated location by jumping on roofs and avoiding routes used by heroes, who unfortunately were in favor of All Might, as examples such as Native, Manuel, Kamui Woods, extorted civilians and threatened left and right. In addition to raising their fame, they locked up civilians for saying they were villains. On their way they saw Stain doing his job, as well as Tuya, who had been called by Tamura Shigaraki, something that Kirishima wanted to stop, but the green-haired man's denial was enough. This is how they arrived at the Yakuza mansion. Kirishima, what are we doing? Izuku, Francis, you'll have our backs. Francis, okay, I protect from a distance more than from closeness. Izuku, Shoto, you, Shinzo and Kirishima will go through the east side. The 3 of you will enter there and go with extreme caution, stealth above all, and ignore unnecessary fights. If you see the girl, put her to sleep with the sleeping pill you have. Shinzo, to the Odin cap. Shoto, let's go. Izuku, take care of them and guide them well. Shoto would nod and leave. Francis, how much do you think they do something stupid? Izuku, don't be so negative. Jumping on the roofs of the mansion. Each group went deeper into the mansion's basement, where every subordinate they saw, if not important, was knocked out by Midnight's gas bombs. Luck was on their side, as only Nemoto of the 8 Precepts of Death was present, as Sir All Might and Chisaki were in a meeting regarding the bullets. This was used to deal them a severe blow, as Izuku managed to arrive and get Eri out of a cell and blood extraction tubes, more test tubes and laboratory machines. Eri was hesitant at first but accepted, where Izuku managed to give her a candy with the anesthesia and put the girl to sleep to leave, being accompanied by Shoto's group, and retreat with Francis to the UA, without further complications. This, unbeknownst to him, would move heaven and earth in a plan to get rid of them, since not even Fury foresaw that the traitor protocol would have to be advanced. In a forest, a child wearing a horned cap can be seen crying as he remembered his parents. Child, sniff sniff, Mom and Dad, I miss you. Mandalay, I'm sorry Koda, she sobbed listening to the child. Internships begin. After Eri's rescue, we see the team at UA, while the heroine recovery girl was performing some tests on her. The albino, for her part, was always on Izuku's side, so she kept him on her back at all times. Recovery girl, well, I ran the tests and she shows moderate signs of malnutrition and dehydration. Izuku, good. Recovery girl, now I'd like to see how she reacts to the images. The old woman would start placing images of heroes and other people, and 2 of them filled the girl with fear. One was the image of All Might and the other was that of Sir Night Eye. Izuku, seeing Eri's fear towards the image of the bastard who abused him as a child, just hugged Eri with great love and strength to protect her. Unbeknownst to them, the rescue was noticed by the underworld and the Yakuza itself. On Kamino, the League of Villains could be seen gathered together. For one, this is interesting. The Yakuza was planning to make anti-quirk bullets. Dabi. That's what it looks like, but Toga. It says here that the one who gave the orders was Sir Night Eye. AFO, All Might's partner? Spiner. Wow. And the fish face himself reading some files. Stain was wrong. Fake heroes don't exist. Stain, believe me, they are few and far between, but you'll soon know who the real heroes are. Dabi. Something is wrong. We shouldn't receive this data, he thought. Kurojairi. Master appearing, the Yakuza lost the girl. Everyone. What? At the Yakuza base, Overhaul can be seen very upset, as can All Might and Sir Night Eye. Overhaul. How the hell did they let him get away? Rikia, boss, she didn't escape alone. They infiltrated. Sir, who? All Might. I want to know. Rikia. There were at least 5 people in black suits. They went straight for Eri. And not only that, the documentation of the tests, the recordings of the experiments, and the bullets produced disappeared. All Might and Sir. What? Sir. New guards and very dangerous apparently. All Might. I'll check at UA to see if they have anything to do with this, and if so, I'll make them look like traitors to society. At the UA, it's been 1 day since the rescue, so we can see a green-haired boy dyeing his hair red while an albino girl watches him. Eri, why do you dye your hair? Izuku, you see, starting to tell her his story, how All Might used him as a child, the blows, fractures, everything. The girl now understood why she hugged him. Despite being 6 years old, and him 16, the boy had suffered at the hands of the muscular hero. Eri, he is a very bad man. Izuku, yes. Eri, will you protect me from him? Izuku, without a doubt. But well, you'll go with Mrs. Recovery, right? Eri, yes. After that, Izuku would leave the infirmary heading to his classroom, where he would find his friends talking somewhat worriedly. Mina, and that's why we have to take care of ourselves. The Yakuza was attacked last night. Shoto, Cap. Izuku, good morning. Ida, what's so good about you bucking Yankees? You attacked the Yakuza, a mafia, and now the innocent are going to pay for it. Damn vigilantes. Kirishima, how are you bros? Bakugo, nice commotion, don't you think? At that, Aizawa would enter the room. Aizawa. Silence activating his quirk. Well, offspring, as you know, the festival was not only to show how strong they are to the professionals, that is why their purpose was to show themselves. As I have seen, and together with the director and teachers, we have decided that Minoru Mineta. Mineta, who is it? Aizawa, yes, because of your lack of progress and your low grades, in addition to not standing out in anything other than your perversion, you will be sent to general courses. Ida, they can't do that. The girls, YSSS. Aizawa, I can do it, Ida. And it was everyone's decision at school. Get your things ready, Mineta, you're leaving. Mineta, yes. The haired boy would put away his things, and in a quick movement, he would try to touch Uraraka and Mina's breasts, but a blow from Izuku sent him out of the room. Izuku, for being perverted. Ida, lie, you bastard. How dare you attack one of the best hero prospects? Aizawa, silence if you don't want to go with him. Ida would just stay silent as he glared at Aizawa and Izuku. Aizawa, well, as you probably know, the festival would allow those in general courses to advance. So they will have a new partner. It happens. A purple-haired boy would pass by while revealing a face that seemed to ask for sleep every now and then. Izuku, welcome friend. Shinzo, I'm Hitoshi Shinzo. Ida, you? How do you deign to come to this class, stupid villain? Izuku at that moment, along with Shoto, Kirishima and an annoyed Bakugo, would protect the purple-haired boy. Mina, if her quirk is villainous, why is she here? Jiro, his quirk is one of the best for being a hero, they are saying, standing up and protecting Shinzo. Tokoemi, that darkness is annoying. In that case I would be what? A villain for Dark Shadow. Dark Shadow, yes, say it to his face. Aizawa began to stop the possible fight as the group was splitting up. Izuku, Todoroki, Bakugo, Kirishima, Jiro, Kaminari, Tokoemi, Tsuyu, Uraraka, Shoji were defending Shinzo. Kaminari said nothing as he was processing the loss of a friend. Koda was trembling with fear. Ida, Momo, Mina, Hagakure, Ahoema, Sato, Zero and Ojiro. Shoto, Jarvis sends the 1A who doesn't defend Shinzo to rejection, he whispered in his ear. Jarvis, right away, sir. At the Bakugo house, Mitsuki was tidying up the house while a system was turning on. Mitsuki, Secret Warrior files Japan in that he begins to see how boys who were very good candidates in his eyes were eliminated from that section and were placed and rejected. What is happening? Jarvis, broadcasting UA transmission. So Mitsuki caught up on everything and understood what had been decided, and also smiled at what her son was doing. At the UA, Aizawa stopped the impending conflict so he would start talking. Aizawa, before choosing your internships, choose your hero names, and choose them well, wisely, because otherwise, midnight, they will suffer for the rest of their lives entering the classroom. With that, he handed out whiteboards to everyone, while several muttered things about what to call themselves. The first to pass was Mina Ashido. Mina, I'll be Alien Queen. Midnight, scary so no. Mina, I wanted to use it with depression. Midnight, next. Kirishima, I know this is new but I'll be Red Riot. Midnight, a tribute to Crimson Riot is not so. Kirishima, yes. Midnight, I approve. Tsuyu, I'll be Fruppy. Midnight, rainy season, how beautiful. Uraraka, I will be Uravity. Mineta, grape juice. Shoji, tentacle. Sato, Sugarman. Aoyama, I can't stop shining. Midnight, a sentence? How about I can't twinkling? Hoyama, mercy. Shoto, I am. All Black Panther. Midnight, so taking Chala's place, huh? Approved excitedly. Bakugo, king of killer explosion. Midnight, no way you're putting murderer in your name. Bakugo, TSCH. Izuku, well, as in Shoto's case, the same thing happens to me, since I received my father's shield, that's why I'm the new one. All Captain America. Aizawa, well, this will help them enter the draft in their second year. Meanwhile, with the sports festival, they caught the attention of several professional heroes, so they have sent them applications for the internships that will be held next week. List: Izuku, 5,770. Shoto, 5,355. Bakugo, 5,245. Ojiro, 350. Kirishima, 250. Mine 3. Aizawa, that would be all of them. Hagakure, amazing. Aizawa, well, choose well where you will go. You have until tomorrow. Time skip to the next day. We meet at the train station. Aizawa, do you all have your outfits? All yes. Aizawa, well, don't let UA down. Obey your teachers during these internships and above all don't slack off. All yes. So everyone would board the train heading to their destinations. Shoto and Izuku would go to one of the heroes who never turned their backs on the green-haired man, his grandfather figure, Gran Torino. Black Panther, Iron Fist and Captain Union in action. Kamino, League of Villains bar. We can see Dabi and Stain, both shield infiltrators in the League of Villains, planning something. Stain, Shigaraki is a completely psychopathic child. Dabi, yes, but what do you suggest? Stain, for the plan to continue, I want you to reveal that I am a traitor. Dabi, are you sure? Stain, yes. Elsewhere in Japan, the bicolor and the green-haired had arrived at the house where they would do their internships for this week, their teacher being a grandfather for the green-haired, since his childhood was one of those who stopped Almight and managed to heal his wounds. Izuku, fine, taking a breath. Shoto, what's wrong? Izuku, I haven't seen him in years. Shoto, calm down, it's the worst that could happen. Both would pass, knocking on the door, but they noticed that it was ajar. They advanced a little inside the house, and as they went deeper, the darkness of the same caught their attention. That was where they found him, Gran Torino, a retired hero on the floor with the marks of what seemed to be blood. Izuku, Grandpa reacting to see if he was okay. Grandpa reacts. Shoto, Mr. Torino, wake up. Izuku, Grandpa, don't do this to me. Gran Torino, but I'm alive. Izuku and Shoto, Kayaya. They gave a very manly shout. Gran Torino, who are they? Izuku, Captain America. Shoto, Black Panther. Gran Torino, they knew it from the beginning, and hitting Izuku with a stick. 10 years out of Japan and only calls. Not one day you come to see me, you have me lying like a rag. Izuku, yes, I'm sorry, Grandpa, but you know I couldn't go back. Gran Torino, oh well. Shoto, Gran Torino, what are we going to do? Gran Torino would sigh, because it was true that he shouldn't teach them anything. Izuku with the OFA already mastered everything at 100%, because having previously trained with Captain America helped a lot. Added to the super soldier serum, the green-haired man doesn't need to activate it. The quirks of the previous carriers, he wouldn't know how to say what happened to it. Because when fusing one for all with the super soldier serum, the first one is modified. Gran Torino, we're going out on patrol, and I heard about the Yakuza. If you went there, you better not make the same moves you used to fight in that attack. Izuku, of course. Shoto, let's do it. The three of them would go out to carry out heroic activities in the area they were in, stopping lesser caliber villains, before striking a powerful villain, since these had ties to the top heroes, at least with several of them. On Kamino, Shigaraki had gathered the entire league because with the help of Norman Osborn and a new villain allied with All for One, they had brought a couple of reinforcements. Shigaraki, well, since we have some loose ends with two heirs to the mantles of American heroes, we had to bring 2 reinforcements with the sensei to join us, until the sensei decides. Dabi, who would they be? Toga, do they bleed? Twice. That's good friends / Buckyu, there are many of us. Mr. Compers, interesting. Shigaraki, earlier, I was surprised that Shield and his heroes attacked 2 Nomus bases, so we have a traitor among us. Twice. It wasn't me / it was me. Toga, traitor. Spiner, but who would be capable? They are not true heroes. Shigaraki, how bad, don't you think, Stain? Or should I say Agent Kaizelm of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Stain, looks like they figured it out, but my job is overthrowing smoke bombs. Stain would leave the place while everyone was coughing. Spiner, why did I believe in your doctrine? Was it all a lie? Dabi, yes. Shigaraki, anyway, meet the new Juggernaut members. Juggernaut, I hope this is worth it. Several members of the League felt threatened. You didn't always have a strong and physically powerful mutant capable of fighting All Might on equal terms and coming out victorious. Shigaraki. And the other is Alexei Sitsovic, known as Rhino. Rhino, I hope this is worth the time you promised me. Shigaraki. In a few days we will attack Hosu with 3 Nomus alongside you. We must deal a major blow to the heroes. Elsewhere. AFO, wonderful, this is coming out wonderfully, don't you think, my friend? Simply ruthless, Shigaraki. AFO, how amazing, Norman. I thought you'd be out of reach. AFO, you weren't looking for the American with the shield? I've already spent time chasing the shield clown. Norman, I thought this alliance would be temporary and between us, AFO. And it would be so if I did not intervene in your communications, gentlemen. AFO, that explains your appearance, Red Skull. Red Skull, let's talk business. Hosu, it's been 3 days since the internships began, and several groups of heroes due to important criminal events began to occur. Also thanks to Stain's warning, Izuku along with Gran Torino and Shoto arrived at the place before an imminent Nomus attack, but among them was the recent member of Secret Warriors International, Daniel Thomas Rankai, alias Iron Fist. Izuku, Danny, what are you doing here? Danny, Fury assigned me to you and you'll be adding me to UA as an exchange student. Shoto, wow, I didn't think you were coming, friend. Danny, that and I wanted to be away from Peter. Izuku, what did he do now? Danny, he made Gwen angry. Shoto and Izuku looked at him as if to say when not, and several ended up beaten for stopping both of them, so I came. Gran Torino, well, it's time to move on, brats. And young Iron Fist, you're doing internships with me, they just told me so. The 3 nodded as they patrolled the quiet Hosu, while the heroes searched for the villains of some robberies, and Stain, hero killer, until an explosion followed by a grotesque villain would make an appearance. Izuku, is that who I think it is? Shoto, yep, it's him. Juggernaut. So the mini cap and the black kitten are coming at me, lololololol. Izuku, Gran Torino, Iron Fist, evacuate the people. So the aforementioned began to remove civilians from the fighting zone, while Izuku and Shoto held the mutant back while he threw anything he could find at them, such as a car. Unbeknownst to either of them, a hidden civilian was filming the demonstration of skill displayed by the future Avengers. Izuku connected blows against the mutant, knocking him to the ground. Both heroes knew that the villain would not take damage because he was quite invulnerable. So after the civilians, except the one filming, were evacuated, they proceeded to fight a little more seriously. Added to this would be Gran Torino and Iron Fist, who managed to even things out when Shoto or Izuku were taken away. This continued for 10 minutes where the heroes showed slight fatigue, until a pink mist appeared in the area causing the villain to stagger and fall asleep. Midnight, looks like I'm here. Izuku-sensei. Midnight, oh yeah, they are the young promises UA and the new one. Iron, hello? At that Izuku would push Midnight, dodging another villain. Rhino, so you dodge Alexei, ha 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 ha. Shoto, too bad we don't have the spider. Izuku, you're talking to irritate him more than he already is. Rhino would begin to attack everyone present, while in another place Endeavor along with Manuel and his agencies faced 3 rare species. Endeavor, What are these things? Ida, they are Nomus, like the ones that attacked the USJ. Manuel, careful. Pushing Ida, don't get distracted. Back with the protagonists. Izuku dodged and connected with blows against the villain, but his thick skin made him a tough nut to crack. Not even Shoto's claws did much. Shoto, how the hell did the spider face him? Izuku, fight now then ask him throwing his shield. Iron Fist, patience is always a virtue striking out against the villain. Izuku would take advantage of this and knock the villain to the ground with his shield attacking his feet. Rhino, Alexei, don't scare them. Izuku along with Shoto and Danny would take Rhino's limbs. The three, Midnight, do it now. The aforementioned would tear her clothes and let out her dream steam, putting the villain to sleep. Midnight, are you guys okay? Izuku, yes, sighing, although I think it's better zzzzzzz falling due to the gas of the +18 heroine's quirk. Iron Fist and Shoto would go through the same thing and fall asleep as the other heroes arrived, and with the help of Edge Shot, who had arrived late, they would load the boys into an ambulance. Upon arriving, Endeavor wanted to know what had happened, but no one could tell him, while the civilian who recorded everything uploaded videos to social media, spreading the word about the fight. Returned to the UA. New classmate. After the fight against Juggernaut and Rhino, the media exploded in cheers and praise for the trio of heroes, Iron Fist, Captain America 2 and Black Panther 2. Unfortunately for the Hero Commission, they could not stop them, since they had two countries like the United States and Wakanda as allies, not to mention that S.H.I.E.L.D. can expose their dirty laundry. Tsurigami did not have to go see them, because if that was already out in the open, and the young people were arrested, protests would break out demanding their freedom, not to mention the image of two other nations. Midnight, seeing this attempt at injustice, protested, as did Gran Torino, as the villains were taken to the vault. Despite Tartaro's prison being the most secure in Japan, it is not capable of subduing this type of villains. They once tried to keep Abomination after the closure of the cube, but failed to retain him. They did not have gamma inhibitors. S.H.I.E.L.D. did not even know why they called him safe if Japan's #1 villain, All for One, has escaped 30 times. Gran Torino residence. Everyone was packing while the old man arrived eating takoyakis. Gran Torino, okay, Zygotes, I have nothing more to do here, so who are they? Izuku, Captain America. Danny, Iron Fist. Shoto, Black Panther. Gran Torino, these brats. So the three said goodbye to Gran Torino and headed to the UA. On the way there, the children asked if they could take pictures with them, something the three agreed to, while the civilians applauded them and the heroes, if you can call them that, growled and insulted them. Most did, in fact. Only one heroine thanked them and, surprisingly, stole a kiss from each of them. Many boys said they wanted to be like them. At the UA, we can see the trio entering the school in their uniforms. Danny, and to think that in Midtown they didn't require a uniform, a bit awkward. Shoto, you'd get used to it. Izuku, yeah, you'd get used to it. All classes looked at them with different expressions. Interests, the girls, respect, some third years, envy, the first years of Shinzo's course, and some from Class B and second years. Upon arrival at Class 1A, Izuku and Shoto were the first to enter, followed by Danny, being greeted by their friends in front of the others who looked at them with anger, envy, and jealousy. Shinzo, how did it go? Izuku, good. Kirishima, two bad brothers, you guys are having fun. Bakugo, at least they shined. That's where Aizawa would come in. Aizawa, well, kids, I've seen everything that the heroes where you've done your internships have told me, although some have improved, others not so much, but well, that's another topic. Ida, Sensei, who is he? If he is a visitor, the prestigious UA Academy should not let him enter a classroom during class period, moving his arms like a robot. Danny was doing his best to calm down and not laugh, while Bakugo was laughing like a retarded seal. Kirishima was holding back his urge, and well, Shoto and Izuku were normal, if you can say that. Aizawa, well, I'll introduce you to your new partner since he's coming from Midtown Academy as an exchange student. Introduce yourself to them. You guys introduce yourselves. Don't make any noise and let me sleep. Aizawa, as soon as he fell asleep in his sleeping bag, made Danny have a bead of sweat on his head. Danny, okay, I'm Daniel Rand, I'm from the United States. I hope we get along. Ida, great, another Yankee. Anyway, I'm Ida Tenya, future #1 hero. Mina Ishido, by the way, don't join them, pointing at the Izu squad. Danny, okay. Shinzo, Hitoshi Shinzo. Bakugo, I'm Katsuki Bakugo. Kirishima, Kirishima Ijiro Danny bro. Kaminari. I'm Denki Kaminari. Tokoemi. I am Fumikage Tokoemi. Shoji. Mizo Shoji. Ojiro. Masareo Ojiro. Danny. It's a pleasure. Zero. I am Zero Hanta. Sato. I'm Sato. Do you want a piece? Offering some cake. So one by one they introduced themselves to Danny, although some, in his perception, were very arrogant, and this continued for the entire hour until lunch, where the Azu squad welcomed the group. Danny thinks he dodges a blow. Hey, what's wrong? Monoma, damn, let him hit you, stupid foreigner, you're just overshadowing Class B. Tetsu, that's not manly at all. Kirishima, and hitting someone like a bully, no. Tetsu, you want to fight, bastard. Bakugo, this family is respected, stupid extras. Shinzo, we give them. Everything was about to indicate a fight in the dining room, but a bear, dog, mouse appeared, drawing everyone's attention. Nizu, enough, young Monoma and Tetsu, please accompany me. After that altercation, All Might's classes followed where they had to show their improvements. All Might, well Ojiro Shonen, Zero Shonen, Ran Shonen and Tsuyu Shoujo. The aforementioned went to the front. All Might, your job is to get to me and rescue me by running around the city, he said with the fakest smile possible, as if your mother-in-law was telling you that you are worthy of her. The four would get into position while Danny said a mantra to calm himself down while doing a kung fu stance, surprising and making Ojiro jealous. All Might begin. The four would start running at the same time that Zero took out his tapes and took off. Zero, goodbye idiots. Ojiro, damn. Danny, is this a competition? Tsuyu, I don't know Karo. Danny would begin to perform very good parkour, surpassing Zero. Zero, what the buck? Ojiro, how does it move? Danny, if you know yourself, you know the enemy. All Might, that's wise and in thoughts. It's no coincidence that they brought him. Damn fury, now I must take better care of myself. After outlasting everyone and Zero trying to cheat by wrapping the tapes around Danny, something that didn't work due to knowing Spider-Man, Danny would end up winning the exercise, receiving a thank you on paper written and autographed by All Might. After that the others began to show their improvements. In Nizu's office. Nizu, is Fury sure? Fury, yes director, I need those 5 showing Iron Fist. Izuku, Shoto, Bakugo and Kaminari will have a mission with other members of the team. Nizu, he does it to mate, right? Fury, indeed. Nizu, who would be the villain? Fury, we suspect Kingpin or Modok. Nizu, I see. I'll inform them. Fury, Nick Fury out.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.